Hello. Oopsies. You can tell I haven't done this for a day or two. And there we go. Happy Monday. I am alternate juror and I will try to get it together, but I promise nothing. Sorry, I missed a couple days last week with this trial. I meant to wrap it up, but I was a little busy becoming a grandma, so I didn't get to it. Um, so my apologies in advance. We are going to wrap it up this week, providing nothing else weird happens. Not that becoming a grandma was weird. I mean, it's a little weird for me, but I'm happy that Madison is here. She's healthy. She's doing great. Mom's doing great. Dad's doing great. Just tired. Other than that, they're great. Everyone's great. Good morning, Gabby. Good to see you. Long time no see. Long time no see. Uh, so Gabby already heard me say this, and most of you probably already know, but I'm super excited to learn that Sarah Boone will be going pro se on her trial. I don't know if this is what she was hoping for all along. I don't know if she thinks it's going to be an appeal, a point of appeal, because for ineffective counsel, it's like, sweetheart, you will be the ineffective counsel. So, and the video, sorry. All I got on that one. That's all I have. Can't wait. I'm not wishing her bad. I'm just not wishing anything for her, I guess. But here's what it is. You can't just keep going through lawyers. You got to run out at some point. So she ran out. And the judge said, no, no more. It's you. Because she's not going to be happy with anybody. That's just the way it is. So, yes. I figured when I kept seeing him, like, that's got to be something more to it. It's not her. He's going to give her another chance. Something. No, he is not. I printed out his order. Obviously, I'm not an attorney, and lots of attorneys have covered it already because I'm a little behind. But I plan to probably put a timeline together off of the order of first, public defender to now. And it's crazy. And I'll probably do that and do the, right before her trial starts, if it starts ever. And because we're looking at 4.5 years that we've been waiting. She acts like she's been waiting. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay, perfect. I'm going to send her an invite. I know she's streaming. We're like trying to be on each other's streams. And we're streaming at the same time, and we're streaming different things. So it's kind of tough. It's a little hard. But I will send her an invite. She can pop in and out of here as she pleases. We are going to continue with the trial that we started last week. And I'm gonna save you and not make you have to listen to some of the testimony that is ridiculous, in my opinion. But it's not. It would be very boring to listen to. So I'm not going to make you do that. You're welcome. Oh, good. My stuff's already messing up. Great. Yes. Here is Jody's link. She has covered the Karen Reed trial, and like many of you, is waiting for that verdict to come in, or whatever it's going to be. I have no idea. I really hope that I mean, obviously I'm hoping for a not guilty verdict because I don't think there has any proof of her guilt at all. Even if you say she was drinking and driving, that doesn't say she hit him. So that's my opinion about it. I don't see that part. The injuries don't line up with that. You cannot drive safely 24 miles an hour backwards in your vehicle. And if her vehicle, which I'm assuming a Lexus, is like a lot of vehicles out there today. You can't run into anything behind you because it'll stop you. So there's also that. And I haven't listened to all the testimony, so maybe they talked about that. I hope they come back today too, mostly for Jody's sake and for Karen's sake, obviously. If it's a good verdict. If it's a bad verdict, then it's I wish we knew the split. I wish we knew I wish we knew a lot about it to see where they were kind of at on things. That's not for us to know. All right, so back to this trial that we started. This is Oscar Martinez III. He is on trial because he was an idiot, and his friends were an idiot, and the guy, everybody involved, except for the person, innocent person in his house making lunch, who was not an idiot, is an idiot. They set up, apparently, allegedly set up a illegal substance deal through Instagram. It was President's Day. Didn't have school. It's Texas. It's nice. They set up this deal. Oscar Martinez, Joshua Mejia, and his 3 siblings all pull up in an SUV in a convenience store. Jerry Ortiz, he's the alleged dealer. He comes out to make the deal. Allegedly, they point weapons at him, demand his illegal substances and his shoes. Christopher Mejia, 14, for whatever reason, decides to get out of the SUV, runs around the back of the SUV. He is pointing his weapon at Jerry Ortiz, who also does have a weapon that he has found. He just found it in the park, apparently, and thought it was cool to have. He's 17 at the time. He fires at Christoper, hitting him in the face. He does not survive those injuries. And a stray round then hits Enrique. You know what? I wrote down how to say his name somewhere. It's because I don't want to just butcher it, and I can't find it. Anyway, hits him. He's in his house making lunch, and it unalives him. Jerry Ortiz is not serving 1 day in prison for his part in this. He's already out. He's walking free. We heard from, oh my goodness. Sorry, I am like a little bit discombobulated right at the moment. Jeremy Martinez, no relation to Oscar, brother to Joshua and Christopher. He also is serving 0 time for his involvement in this. Joshua took a plea. He pled guilty. He got 20 years for his involvement. And the other juvenile is serving 0 time. So from what we heard on the first day of trial, thank you. What we heard on the first day of trial basically was that Mr. Ortiz had fired all the rounds that hit Christopher and Enrique, unaliving both of them. But what we are going to hear today, and I'm only going to play the cross-examine of her because it's basically a lot of her going, she was at the scene gathering the evidence. So she basically through the state was saying, look at these scary rounds, look at these scary weapons. It's all scary. And so just to get through all that, because it really is just a lot of introducing, this is a round, this is another round, this is another round. I mean, it's like 12 rounds and it just gets boring. So I'm going to skip that part for you, and then we will watch the cross-examination of her, and then we will go on to the next witness on day 3. who is the medical examiner. We also are not going to watch his testimony, that he is not cross-examined in any way, shape, or form. Basically, for me, in my opinion, is he was there to show the destruction, to show the injuries, to show, what these rounds do, which is awful. I understand that. 2 people are not here anymore. I'm not excusing it, but they have yet to tie this defendant to making the deal, holding a weapon, let alone firing a weapon. And the only person that has put a weapon in his hand, or the only 2 people that put a weapon in his hand, are the 2 people that got immunity, they don't have any time to serve. And at least one of those people admittedly fired off several rounds. So all the medical examiner does is, here's this injury. Neither one of them were survivable. If they would have showed up at the hospital, they were like, if this would have happened and they were at the hospital when it happened, they would not survive. That's how bad, that's just where they were hit. That's how bad the injuries were. He describes them. They're awful. Had this guy pointed and fired at anybody, then I can see it. But we don't know that he did. They didn't even get Jerry Ortiz's phone to check his Instagram to see if these deals happened. They never took his phone. So the investigation was not great. The state even acknowledges that. So why are you charging anybody? If you can't charge everybody, don't charge anybody. Because if you're not going to make the person who admits to firing their weapon accountable for firing their weapon, why is somebody that you have not yet said and been able to prove fired a weapon being charged? He's being charged with the unaliving of Enrique and of Christopher. So 2 counts of unaliving, allegedly not firing anything, firing something, no charges of unaliving. We got to do better. We have to do better. I get the whole thing of you all were committing a crime and this bad thing happened. I get all of that. I don't necessarily have a problem with all of that if you are going to hold all of the people that were there accountable, and they're not. Yes, Gabby. So we're not going to hear there's absolutely zero reason to play the medical examiner, excuse me, because he didn't cause it. It's not like we're hearing the medical examiner tell us what Oscar Martinez did. That's not what's happening. At least up to this point. If there's some evidence that says after this that yes, this is what happened, then I'll go back and play it. But so far, we're not there. The third witness, I believe we will watch her cross-examination. So I will wait. So this witness here is she was at the crime scene. She gathered up all the scary evidence and she's introduced it all. So this is cross-examination of her, and we'll see what I don't think this defense attorney is bad. I don't know that he's going to be good enough to get the job done, but he's trying at least. So here's he's starting to question her now.
Can I proceed, John?
Yes.
My name is Michael DeLeon. I represent Oscar Martinez. Got a few questions for you. You collected 12 40 caliber shell casings at the scene, correct?
Yes.
Kind of near the dumpster area and then also the street, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I noticed in your report you listed as 40 caliber Smith & Wesson S&W, correct?
Yes.
And then after that, there's different types of identifiers called
Didn't even have to
CBC,
ask.
federal, S&B, and which is the last one? RP, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury what is CBC, federal, S&B, and RP?
It's the head stamps on the shell casings are different brands.
Okay, different brands. Now, if you have let's ask him a simple question. 40 caliber gun. Can it fire any brand of a 40 caliber bullet?
Yes.
Okay. So you can have a federal, you can have 6 federal bullets in a 40 caliber gun and have 3 CBC 40 caliber bullets and 2 S&B bullets in the same gun, correct?
As long as they're the same caliber.
Yes. And
Yes.
here we have all 40 caliber, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no unless you tell me different, is there any way to know which bullets came from what gun if they're both 40 caliber?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about so on E11, you see E11 in your report there?
Yes.
The Ruger SR40,
Yes.
this weapon, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Inside of here was a magazine which holds 14 rounds and 1 in the chamber, correct?
Yes.
That would be a fully loaded weapon.
Yes.
And you found this in the blue recycling bin,
Yes.
and essentially it was a fully loaded gun, correct?
It had 14 live rounds and then 1 in the magazine.
Is there any way for you to know at the scene or sometime there later if this weapon had been fired that day?
That would not be to my knowledge. I would not know.
So as far as we know, this was a fully loaded weapon that was left at the scene,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Now, with E11A, which is the Glock 40, this, however, had only 1 live round in the magazine, correct?
That was which one? The Glock?
The Glock 40.
Yes, I had one live round and 1 round in the chamber.
Okay, so not a fully loaded gun, potentially a gun that had been fired multiple times because there's not that many bullets in it. There's only 2 left.
That would
Compared to it being fully loaded, it would have 15 total.
yes.
And then on the 38 caliber, does this eject shell casings when it's fired?
It should.
Okay, did you find any shell casings for a 38?
No.
Okay. And this particular one had 3 live rounds in the magazine,
Yes.
and it can hold to how many bullets on a 38 caliber?
That was an extended magazine. I don't have the count number on that magazine.
If I show it to you, does that help at all?
If only if it had an indication number on it. If it doesn't have an indication number, I have no way of knowing how many the extended magazine can hold.
You're the expert. I'm gonna show you States Exhibit 74B. Does that tell you anything?
No, there's no numbers on it to indicate how many it can hold.
Okay, so with the extended clip, can you tell the jury what is an extended clip?
It's a magazine that holds more than the retail magazine.
Okay. And in this particular magazine, you only found 3 live rounds,
Yes.
and was there 1 in the chamber?
No.
Okay. But no 38 caliber shell casings were found at the scene.
No.
Now, the Beer King convenience store, it had some bullets that went into the store, correct?
Yes.
Do you know how many roughly?
I from inside the location.
Uh-huh.
I believe it was around 5 that I collected.
Okay. So 5 bullets went into the convenience store and
Wow.
into the home across the street, there were at least 3 bullet holes. Would that be correct?
Two of them were found inside and one was found outside.
Okay.
Seriously?
And let's talk a little bit about these 3 weapons that you have here.
Are they doing a verdict or are they doing a question? By the way, we're just going to jump over and watch Karen read for just a second if they're doing the verdict, and then we'll come back.
She was talking to me then. I know she was.
So why don't I take a recess?
Are you serious?
And then Nancy,
I wonder if
Are you serious?
it'll be word for word from the paperwork that we read out. But yes, there you go. There you go.
Oh, we're through the fan.
Yeah, I don't. She wants if they. She'll give this instruction now. Send them back, and if they still can't come to a decision, she'll call it. She'll have to. Thank you. Hello, alternate jurors. Hello. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, basically from Friday, we had the jury say that they were deadlocked, and the Judge Bev sent them home for the weekend without an Allen charge or any further instructions, and said, come back Monday, and continued your deliberations. I don't believe you have shown, what was it, a diligent deliberations or whatever the words are.
Yeah, I said hello.
And they have
not
come back
realizing
this
she can't
morning
hear me say
and
hello.
have still fundamental disagreements within the
It's like, hello.
the 12 jurors. So she is now she's calling them back in to give them the instructions on the Massachusetts specific Allen charge, which is called the Tui Rodriguez charge,
I'm telling you, I'm
which
out
is
of
very much in favor, or in my belief, of the defense, because it clearly outlines the fact that if you cannot come to a clear and reasonable doubt, then you must acquit, basically. So this is what we're just waiting for the jury to come back in now so she can read them this TUI charge.
I'm just going to start calling it Grandma Brain.
No, the note wasn't read on the record either, but apparently the jury indicated that they were deadlocked.
We got this fan going.
Yes, a lot of people are saying that it's tainted, Bob. I'm not sure if tainted is the right word. I would suggest that they're possibly concerned about any future repercussions should a not guilty verdict be established, because that's basically saying that they believe that there is statewide corruption right through the police force as well as the state troopers, and living within that community, there could potentially be repercussions to them. You know, they're protected now. Their identity is protected from us now, But you mark my words, Brian Albert knows every one of their names, every one of their addresses, and everything that they do. So, which is why he was there when they did their closing arguments. So, yeah, I think that's probably half the battle. They're too scared. Too scared. AJ said hi to you, and then she said, "Oh, she can't hear me." No, I can't. Hi, AJ. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting your stream, but thank you for having me on there. Hopefully, there.
You're surrounded by
It won't
greatness.
take too long to bring the jury in, and then we'll hear this Allen charge.
That's
To
hilarious.
Rodriguez.
Who knew there was another charge? But I think this one sounds better than the
So
Allen
the
charge
time
from
is
what she
what?
was reading this morning, from what Jody was saying this morning.
11 a.m. there. What was my prediction this morning? We would hear something before lunchtime today. Jeez, I've been right on so many things in this case. It's me. I think I'm psychic.
Well, I hope they come back.
The way
with-
Lally was saying that in that argument to the judge, I don't see it as that complicated. I see it basically as head injury, car. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the rear of his skull, causing huge skull fractures, immense brain damage, and hypothermia. That's it. Well, not that's it, but they're the two things that we need to find out how that happened. But the medical examiners did not know how that injury occurred. And so it's the Commonwealth's case that it's the car that caused those.
Hello, Sharon. Thank you. I will get back to this trial in just a minute. I'm just wondering how long old Bev's going to let this jury keep deliberating if they're deadlocked. And I don't like trying to sway somebody off of their, where they are. Either side. If somebody really feels that way, then I want them to stay that way. But so she's supposed to be back in just a second. So, but thank you for your congratulations, and I hope everything is well in Maryland. I don't know how your weather's been, but we might be sending you some cooler weather because it was a little chilly here this morning. It was like 54. That's not fall. It's not fall anymore. It's summer. All right. So this is Jody, Sharon. If you've not seen Jody, she's from Australia. She has a new channel called The Defense Rest. It's great. She's done a great job with Karen. And so we're just watching see what we get verdict wise with her, and then we'll go back to the trial.
The body language and come back to it, and I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know how long they're going to be on a break for. Yeah, we'll keep watching the body language. And I'll keep an eye on Court TV for when they come back.
All right, I'm going to switch back because we haven't been watching the body language. So I'm going to switch back. Gabby, let me know. Got her going. So make sure I'm sharing the right thing here. All right, we will pick up with this. So sorry to keep going back and forth, but I know a lot of people are interested in that verdict. I am. So Here we go.
that you recovered from the blue recycling bin, you looked for fingerprints on those 3 weapons, correct?
Yes.
And tell the jury, how did you look for fingerprints? What's the process involved?
Using a single-use black powder and a single-use, one-time use brush to dust for latent prints on the weapons.
Okay. And did you have what were the results of doing the looking for fingerprints on those 3 weapons?
I did not find any.
Okay. Does
I
that tell you anything when you don't see fingerprints based on your training experience?
No, it just is based on item by item. We're gonna find a print on any one item.
Okay.
I like him. Is
That's all
this
I have for you,
weird?
Ms. Guerra. Thank you very much. Pass the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
He's got nothing. It's weird that there wasn't any prints on any of them because it's if they had it in their head to wipe them down before putting them in the recycle bin, that's scary. Considering 1, their age, 2, what they just went through, and they should not be able to, in my opinion, think that fast about things like that they need to wipe down weapons. I know, Gabby. So, all right, again, not showing the medical examiner because I really 100% believe he was just there to scare everybody and to show everybody how bad this is. It is horrible, but again, there's no prints on the weapon. You haven't put it in his hand. You haven't put anything in his hand. Not even setting up the deal at this point.
The envelope on it indicates it was from the very.
All right. So the witness after the medical examiner, she's like the tool mark expert. So she was matching up the casings that were given to her and the weapons that she had. What I kind of picked up was so the witness we just saw picked up 12 casings. This woman examined 20. The other 8 were sent to her in May of 2022. I don't know where they came from, and that wasn't explained. But so she has 6 casings that were fired from the same weapon, but they were not fired from any firearm that was examined by anybody. So nobody knows where that one is. There was 4 recovered, which from everything we heard the first day makes sense because Jerry Ortiz had 1, and then they said there was 3 in the SUV. That's 4. I don't know where this other one is. I don't even know if it was part of that. I don't know what kind of neighborhood that was in. I don't know if there was just rounds being fired off all the time. I have no idea. So she had 6 that were fired from one firearm that she did examine. And she had 1 round, and I know I'm not using the correct terms. I'm using YouTube terms that had been fired from a weapon that was never she doesn't have. She never examined it. It was never recovered. And seriously, oh goodness gracious, it's gonna be one of those.
Convictions that each of us carry, ultimately leading to a point where consensus is unattainable.
Yes.
We recognize the weight of this admission and the implications it holds. So, Mr. Foreman and members of the jury, I have an instruction for you. Our Constitution and laws provide that in a criminal case, the principal method for deciding questions of fact is the verdict of a jury. In most cases, and perhaps strictly speaking in all cases, absolute certainty cannot be attained, nor is it expected. The verdict to which each juror agrees must, of course, be his or her own verdict, the result of his or her own convictions, and not merely an acquiescence in the conclusions of the other jurors. Still, in order to bring 12 minds to a unanimous result, you must examine the issues you have to decide with candor and with a proper regard and respect for each other's opinions. You should consider that it is desirable that this case be decided. You have been selected in the same manner and from the same source as any future jury would be selected. There is no reason to suppose that this case will ever be submitted to 12 persons who are more intelligent, more impartial, or more competent to decide it than you are, or that more or clearer evidence will be produced at another trial.
Sounds word for
With
word to
all
me.
this in mind, it is your duty to decide this case
That's straight
if
up
you
an
can
Allen
do so
charge.
conscientiously.
Wait for it.
In order to make a decision more attainable, the law always imposes the burden of proof on the Commonwealth to
Mhm.
establish every essential element of each indictment beyond a reasonable doubt. If you are left with a reasonable doubt as to any essential element of any indictment, then the defendant is entitled to the benefit of that doubt and must be found not guilty on that indictment.
Well,
In
that's
conferring
changed.
together, you ought to give proper respect to each other's opinions and listen with an open mind to each other's arguments. Where there is disagreement, those jurors who would find the defendant not guilty should consider whether the doubt in their own minds is a reasonable one, if it makes no impression upon the minds of the other jurors who are equally honest and equally intelligent, who have heard the same evidence with the same attention, who have an equal desire to arrive at the truth,
Not yet.
and who have taken the same oath as jurors. At the same time, those jurors who would find the defendant guilty ought seriously to ask themselves whether they may not reasonably doubt the correctness of their judgment if it is not shared by other members of the jury. They should ask themselves whether they should distrust the weight or sufficiency of the evidence if it has failed to convince the minds of their fellow jurors beyond a reasonable doubt. I will now ask you, Mr. Foreman, and members of the jury to return to your deliberations with these instructions in mind. And as with my final instructions and the supplemental instructions I sent in, I will send in a copy of this charge as well. All right, so may that be marked, Madam Court Reporter, please. All right, so
All right.
thank you. We'll send you folks back out to deliberate.
All rise for the court, please. Jurors, follow me.
And there you have it. Gabby, if you thought she was gonna say that she declared a mistrial, that she had no choice. If they come back again, she should do what the one good thing that Judge Jones did down in Florida and say, "Thank you. I've been listening." And then say mistrial. Yeah, not yet. She should only send them back in one time. That should be it. Don't keep sending them. Don't keep sending them. I mean, at least it didn't feel like she absolutely was like, you have to come to a decision, like it has felt on other times we've heard that. Okay. We're back. Oh my goodness. All right. So this is a tool mark examiner. All she basically did was introduce a bunch of more evidence of, well, she just kind of took the scary things that have already been introduced, the rounds, the weapons, and they're presented repeatedly to the jury because they're scary. And again, the one thing that she had, which makes things make you go, this one makes me go, the round that unalived Enrique Bocanegra, I think is how you say his last name. I'm not sure. That's close. That weapon was never found, allegedly. I'm not an expert on weapons, so I don't know if it was a round that was put in the wrong weapon, but fired anyway. I have no idea. Just all thoughts that go through my mind of things that we've heard in the past, of things that have happened. So that's weird, for lack of a better word. It came out of Enrique's back, and again, that weapon was not recovered. So this is cross-examination of her, and then the next two witnesses are really short. One is an eyewitness, and she's interesting because I believe she totally misread I could see why she read it the way she did, but I think she misread it, the situation. And then we hear from Christopher's mother. I think you can't hear her when they ask who she is, so I'm assuming it's his mother because the closed captioning doesn't even pick her up. And then we will go into Detective Mark Morales, and we are going to listen to all of his testimony because it's important.
Our County Medical Examiner's Office.
Pass witness.
Good morning. My name is Michael DeLeon. I've got just a few questions for you. So, what you've testified to is that this State's Exhibit 73A, with the rubber band, fired 12 bullets, or how would you phrase it? You observed 12 casings that were fired by this gun.
Yes, 12 cartridge cases.
And were there any cartridge casings you observed that were fired by State's Exhibit 72A?
Item. I do not think there were any.
Those two things sitting in front of her are her things for demonstrations. You have the casing and the bullet because they look kind of weird.
No.
Okay, yeah. And on State's Exhibits, 74A, this is a 38 caliber, correct?
I didn't see it. 380 auto specifically, but yes, that falls under 38 caliber.
380 auto. There was one shell casing that you observed that was fired by this gun.
Yes.
Okay. How many 38 shell casings did you observe that were submitted to you?
Of 380 auto,
380 auto.
there was only one.
Only one. Okay. And the bullet fragment that came from the medical examiner's office, that came from a weapon that are not these weapons, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What's the fourth weapon you were examining? Okay, well, what kind of gun was that?
See, that was a Smith and Wesson, Sigma series or model SC40 AE semi-automatic pistol.
That's a 40 caliber semi-automatic pistol.
Yes.
Sorry, I said gum instead of the
Um,
ending an N. It was funny. Closed
just
captioning.
one more thing.
Thank you for watching. Hey, Jace. Craft tax.
Warren, that's all I have for you. Pass the witness.
All right, you two, quit chat.
Nothing from the state.
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes, Your Honor, excused from the state.
She is, Your Honor.
All right,
So-
you may step down. And I'm so sorry, the items that were left for you, if
Nothing
you'll just place them back
earth-shattering
on the table over
there,
there. Right,
just
thank you.
other than that one round that there is not a weapon for, allegedly. I don't know. Yes, yay Monday. I kind of lost track of what day it was. Yesterday. I didn't know what day it was. I gave up.
Thank you. All right, state, call your next witness.
Okay, so this is the
State
eyewitness.
called Allison Atkinson, Your Honor.
And she talks about the floor. She means the ground.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up for members of the jury and the court reporter.
Okay,
All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
okay, Allison Atkinson.
State.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, Miss Atkinson. Thank you for coming in here today. Were you working last night?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know you're working overnight, so we'll try and keep this brief here. But on February 21st, 2022, did you were you in the area of Blanco and Mariposa?
Yes, sir.
And what were you doing over there?
I was with my family. We had gone to the dates at the local bingo hall and we had just finished playing.
And what so when you say your family, who were you with?
I was with my mom, my father, and my 6-year-old son.
Okay, and so you had just left the bingo hall?
Yes.
And so what happened next?
I remember we were walking towards my car when I heard something that sounded like I assumed were fireworks. And then when I was driving away from the bingo hall, I remember looking down the street and it appeared to be someone on the floor getting attacked or somehow hurt by a group of other males.
And so what did you do next?
I yelled at my dad and I said, someone getting hurt, someone getting hurt. And that's when my dad was like, turn around, let's go back, let's go see if we can help.
Okay, and so what happened next?
What happened next, I turned down the following street and I came around the vehicle and parked right behind their vehicle. And my dad, just being a veteran law enforcement, kind of advised us to call 911. That's what he told me to do. He told my mom to take pictures. And my dad just got out of the car and he went to go help the kid that was on the floor.
Okay, and was he able to help the person who was on the floor?
He tried his best, but to my knowledge,
I don't know why it muted
And
right
so
there.
when you pulled up, were you in front of the vehicle that you saw? Were you behind the vehicle that you saw?
no, I parked like directly behind the vehicle.
And what kind of car was it?
It was an SUV.
You said your mom was taking photos, right?
Yes.
Showing you what I've just marked as State Exhibit 84. Can you tell me what that is?
That is a picture of two of the gentlemen that were there at the time.
Okay, and what about State Exhibit 85?
That's another gentleman that we saw on the scene.
And State Exhibit 86?
That's another gentleman that was there.
And this is a photo of what you saw that day?
Yes, when I saw them, they were all together, surrounding the one gentleman that was on the floor unresponsive.
And what about State Exhibit 87?
That's a photo also of them there. At the time when we got there, though, that gentleman in the black shirt was not on the floor.
And can you tell me what's in State Exhibit 88?
Those are the gentlemen we also saw at the scene.
Do you recognize State's Exhibit 89?
Yes, that's kind of, I remember that when, that's what we saw on the floor, but all the other gentlemen were on top of him. Like standing above him.
Who's this in that photo?
That's my father.
And do you recognize State's Exhibit 90?
Yes, sir.
And what's going on there?
That was another bystander trying to help the boy that got shot on the floor.
Do you recognize State's Exhibit 91?
Yes, sir.
And what's depicted there?
Those are still all the gentlemen we saw there who were with the young men we're trying to help initially.
What about State's Exhibit 92?
Just more of the chaos that we stumbled upon when they were all walking around.
What about State's Exhibit 93?
That's the vehicle that I parked behind. We saw them like getting in and out of, and at one point moving away from me.
What about State's Exhibit 94?
That's kind of the process after they moved the vehicle away from my car.
And so do these photos fairly and accurately depict the people and the objects that you saw them on that day?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 84 through 94.
You have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
So, Gabby, it said send your member milestone chat, but it gave me like 2 seconds to do it. So I was trying it and then it's not there anymore. And I can't, now it's not coming back. That's the first time I've seen that.
Your Honor, we have no objection to State's Exhibits 84 through 94.
All right, State's Exhibits numbers 84 through 94 are admitted without objection.
Can I publish these, Your Honor?
Yes.
Then tell the jury what is in State's Exhibit 94.
That was the vehicle that we saw, them moving and one point getting in and out of.
Okay, and then State's Exhibit 93 is just a kind of a closer of that same vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so when you first pulled up, where were the people? What were they doing? Were they bunched up? Were they spread out?
They were bunched up over the child that was on the floor.
Ground.
So
she
this
means
is State's
ground.
Exhibit 92. Is this right when you pulled up, or is this a few minutes after you pulled up, or?
No, this was after, because when we pulled up, there wasn't as many bystanders around. It was initially when I saw them all, it was the group of men over the child that was on the ground.
Okay. And then in State's Exhibit 84, who's this? And he has some medical training, right?
Yes, he's also 100% disabled. He heard the gunshot and he ran to him.
He was trying to help.
Definitely.
And then this is State's Exhibit 85. Is this earlier in time than some of these other photos? This is kind of when you first pulled up?
Yes, they're starting to scatter as more, like bystanders are showing up.
Okay, can you kind of walk us through it? So you pull up behind the Suburban. What's the first thing you remember that you saw?
When I pulled up behind them, I just remembered the group of boys around the child that was on the floor initially. And I just got direction from my dad. It was to get 911 in place. And so that's what I was doing. I was calling. And I remember calling, and I was not the first person to call in. My mom was taking pictures, was trying to keep my son calm in my car. And I didn't get back out of the car until 911 told me to get down. And at that point, I just remember a little bit of chaos. And I remember nobody was helping the child on the floor. It was just my dad. And there was a lot of movements, moving the car, someone walking away from the car. It was really chaotic moments.
And so when you first walked up, was it just one person on the ground?
Yes, it was only one person.
And then was there somebody else on the ground at a certain point?
Yes, there was another person kind of just like making, it felt like making the show because nobody really shared what I appeared, no one showed concern, no one tried to help.
Okay, so listen to what she said. So she keeps talking about the child on the ground because he was a child. He was 14. He was on the ground. She says nobody was helping him. I don't think there was help to give him. So I think that may have been one reason why nobody was helping him. When he was, from what the medical examiner said, he was hit in the face. So it went through, lots of damage done, and it severed his spinal cord. So I don't know, like he said, had it been happened at the hospital, he wouldn't have survived it regardless. Now she's saying, now there's somebody else that is now on the ground appearing to want attention. I believe that is Jerry Ortiz because I don't know who else there was had any wounds to them other than those two individuals and then Mr. Enrique, but he was in his house. So that was interesting to me that he was well enough to, I believe, run away, hide his weapon, and then maybe come back. And again, she means ground, not floor.
First person on the ground. And the second person was just like walking around fine. Until towards the end, they kind of just threw themselves on the ground and they were just, it felt like putting on a show. I forgot what they were yelling, they were trying to get attention on them. Instead of the victim.
Your Honor, can I ask you to step down?
Yes.
Yeah, can I ask you to step down and point some things out to the jury? And what we're looking at is, for purposes of the record, we're looking at State's Exhibit 91. So you could just use this to point out to the jury.
Okay.
Who was the individual that was on the ground when y'all first pulled up?
There's this child right here. He
Okay,
was on the ground.
and so was this individual, this person wasn't on the ground when you first pulled up?
No, he was walking around and going back and forth like the other individuals.
All right, if y'all could remember to keep your voice up for the jurors and for the court reporter.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, we just have to be loud because it's for them, but it's also just for the record.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this person was not on the ground when you first pulled up?
Correct. This person was walking around just like everybody else. They were just kind of pacing all over the place.
Thank you so much. You can see,
Yes.
like,
Which sucks because we can't see who this person is. He was on the floor ground.
did one of the people move the Suburban up after you were there?
Yes, sir.
And about what was the distance that they moved the car?
Oh, I'm not exactly sure the measurement, but it was kind of, maybe you could fit a vehicle in between us now, but it just, to me, it didn't make sense why you would want to move the car in a moment of crisis.
So a car length, maybe a car length or two, but not like a half a block or something.
Oh, no, sir.
And do you remember somebody walking away from the group?
Yes, I do remember one person was getting away from the scene, going straight down the street, and they were carrying something with them. At that point, I remember that was, again, something that didn't make sense. We're moving the car, we're taking something down the street, like, just confused, nobody's helping. No.
Could you tell what they had in their hands?
I could not tell exactly what it was. But I had just like a suspicion of what it could be, 'cause initially when I thought it was fireworks, and then I realized we're in obviously more danger than what I initially thought.
And we're looking at this picture now, this State's Exhibit 91. Do you know which one of the people was walking away from the scene?
Unfortunately, I can't be certain, just given the amount of time that's passed, but I am certain it was one of those people in the group that walked away.
How is your father doing?
He just came out of the hospital about 2 days ago, so we've had better days.
I'm glad he's home now.
Thank you.
Has nothing to do with what happened there. That's dirty. Ask her that off the stand. He should have objected. That's nothing to do with this. I don't know if there's a nothing to do with irrelevant. There's relevance. Zero relevance. Like they're trying to make it I don't know. To me, it was just like, all right, he's in the hospital. That's poor guy. Like, has been suffering for 2 years since this. No, it had nothing to do with this.
Thank you so much. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Atkinson, my name is Michael DeLeon.
It's-
Got a few questions for you.
Okay,
You said the scene was chaotic, or there was a lot of chaos. Can you tell the jury what was chaotic about it?
sure. So, I've personally never witnessed a shooting before. I've never seen, normally when I think of someone in help, I think of people going in to help. And so it was just, with a lot of gentlemen over one child. I don't know his age, but they were not helping in any way. It looked like he was in pain, he was hurting, he was alone, and no one was there to help.
And would it be fair to say it took maybe about 4 minutes before the first police officer arrived? I'm sure it felt like a lifetime, but
Yeah,
about 4 minutes sound about right?
I would hate to give an exact number. Honestly, it was very fast movement pace.
And when you were there, parked behind on the street, your mother took these photos, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There were bystanders who started showing up, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your father went to help at the scene. There probably I think there was a photo with another bystander was there to help out, whatever they could do. Once the police arrived, you had an ambulance show up, you had fire trucks, you had all kinds of people showing up, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, there must be 50, 60, 70 people out there eventually.
There was a lot of people. There was bystanders by the gas station, a lot of police.
No doubt, no doubt.
I might lose a couple with this stream.
You were probably out at the scene for how long? Maybe 30 minutes or something?
It honestly felt longer. We had to wait a long time, yeah.
Okay, and eventually from that scene, the police said, we'd like you to come back to the police station, make a report or a statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You did that, your mom did, your father did.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I noticed that in your statement, you said, as you're kind of parking up to the scene, driving up to the scene, it looked like 5 Hispanic males were beating up another Hispanic male on the ground. Okay.
Yes.
I can kind of tell you the evidence, the surveillance videos, nothing shows that there was a beating of the person. It was more of them standing around. Could it be that you kind of misperceived that maybe they were trying to move the body or somehow, some way help that person on the ground?
When I was driving, the actions that I saw didn't necessarily resonate, help. It looked like someone was in distress, and when we got there, everyone just kind of, moved away, did other things that were not helpful. So for me, my first instinct was like, Dad, someone needs help. Like, we need to go and help them.
Okay. Did any of those young men there in this photo in State's Exhibit 91, did any of them did you get the feeling they were going to bolt, take off, run away, anything like that?
I think initially I did when they started like scattering. One person was going here, one person was going there. They all started getting on their cell phones at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Moving the car. It was just, it didn't feel safe being there.
Of course. You talked a little bit about somebody gathering up something and walking away towards, if you recall, a blue recycle bin. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember if it was, in looking at State's Exhibit 89, this individual in the kind of blue jean, I think they're blue jean shorts and a black shirt? You know if it was that individual?
I can't be 100% certain right now.
Okay.
But I do remember that was one of the gentlemen who walked away and took something to hide.
And there's an individual in State's Exhibit 92, looks like on a cell phone in the red. Could have been, he's dressed in red shirt, red shorts. Was it that person in red who went to the blue recycle bin possibly, or maybe the others?
Yeah, I can't 100% say for certain. I wish my dad was here because he could have been.
I mean, it's a chaotic scene, no doubt. So I'll give you that. Let's talk a little bit about State's Exhibit number 90. So this individual on the ground was at one time standing around, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we know from evidence in this trial that he was eventually shot, okay?
Mhm.
And the other individual is the one you pointed out over here,
Right.
correct? That's the initial person you saw on the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
The initial person, I believe, was shot but never got up, and the second person was shot but was walking around like nothing had happened.
Looking at State's Exhibit 88. And State's Exhibit 88, so you have the individual who was initially on the ground, never got up. And this individual was standing at one time, but eventually flopped onto the ground.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And looking at State's Exhibit 87, that person who we saw on the ground before is down on his knees at this point, kneeling down. And eventually goes onto his back. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And your mom gave a statement, your dad gave a statement, y'all essentially saw the same things, correct?
I honestly think my dad saw more because he was in the middle of it.
Okay.
And I was in the car until 911 told me to get out, but
Sounds good. And yeah. Well, thank you for coming today. I hope your father recovers better.
thank you.
Pass the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused?
Cheers, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know what's that helped to hurt.
ALLISON.
All right, everyone, this is where we're going to take our break, because I believe the next witness that's called is going to take us beyond the 12:30 point. You ought to have a break and have lunch.
Your Honor, maybe we approach him. Maybe we approach.
Yes.
him.
This is gonna be the first time we've ever seen Judge Boyd be wrong. I have to admit it. We're not going anywhere, Judge Boyd. We're gonna do one more witness. That's, I believe, what they approached
All right,
on.
everyone, I stand corrected. This witness will, my understanding is a short witness, so we'll take this witness up, then I'll release you all for the lunch break. All right, State, call your next witness.
State calls Denise Mejia.
And again, I think this is Christopher who passed away because he's the one that got out of the SUV and came around, made the bad decision. Bad decisions all day for those kids, and is no longer with us. I know. I think that's what Judge Boyd thought too. Well then, fine. Don't do that again. I don't know where she's at. She must be scared to come in. You know, we've seen some bad trials in Judge Boyd's room, but the court's pretty full for this one. Both sides. Alrighty. Not like this has much time left on it. There she comes.
Oh,
Hello.
if you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that members of the jury and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record.
Denise Mejia.
All right, state.
Denise, How are you related to Christopher Mejia?
He's my son.
Now, for purposes of the record, so that it's clear that we're talking about the correct person, I'm showing you state exhibit number 76. And now, who is this?
You know,
What was your name? Thank you, ma'am, for coming to identify. Ask witness and then.
Any questions? All right, thank you. You may step
ask
down.
her any questions. I'm sorry. It's horrible. It's tragic. I'm not trying to be cold-hearted, but that was nasty by the state to do to her. That's the reaction they wanted out of her. That's all they wanted her there for, was that. Because he can't ask her anything. What's the defense going to ask her without looking like a complete jerk to be nice? All they did, Gabby, was super short and not sweet. Took her up there. Hey, who are you? I'm Christopher's mom. Just so we know that we're talking about the same person, flip a photo up of him. I don't know if it was when he was passed away or if he was alive in like a school photo. Is this him? She burst out into tears. Yeah, no further questions. It feels disingenuous to me. They didn't ask her a thing. And pretty much then leaves the defense where he can't, because then he'll look like a jackass for asking a grieving mother, who I understand why she's grieving. I understand all that. But he couldn't ask her a thing. And now the jury, that's all they see. I mean, obviously that's just my opinion of what they did. That's just how it came off to me. So it just doesn't feel right. This whole thing doesn't feel right. All right, so we're going to move on. They're going to go to lunch. We're going to move on to Detective Morales again, because it's Miss Judge Boyd does not allow us to see any of the exhibits. We will hear, or he will talk about the surveillance video. But what he says I've heard just the very end of his cross-examination, just because I was trying to find timestamps. It's like, well, oopsies. Oopsie state. So he's a longer witness.
And 2022 C.
So if we get through him, we'll continue right on trucking.
R4932B, State of Texas versus Mr. Martinez. Are both sides ready to proceed, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State, do you have your witness? Do you want to already put them on the stand?
Yes, Judge.
When she asked that, I wasn't sure who he was calling, so I'm not sure why they put the detective on the stand before they bring the jury in. Also, I'm not sure where their witnesses are hanging out because they take so long to get there. There he comes.
All right, we're ready.
All right, for the jury.
That camera angle. There's only been one person it's good for, and she's not here right now. And he's not on the stand.
All right, everyone, please be seated. I hope you all were able to find a place to eat and had enough time. All right, State, call your next witness, please.
The state calls Detective Mark Morales.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand If you'll make sure you keep your voice up for members of the jury and the court reporter,
Yes, ma'am.
if you'll state your name for the record.
Mark Morales,
All right, state.
Detective Morales, who do you work for?
San Antonio Police Department,
And how long have you worked for SAPD?
going on 22 years,
And what is your current position with SAPD?
a detective.
And so have you received more training than the average patrol officer?
Correct.
What type of training did you receive to become a detective?
Investigative, interrogation, fingerprints, basic stuff that detectives do.
So a little bit more advanced than what patrol has.
Correct.
And how long have you been a detective for?
Going on 10 years, got a couple of months shot from that.
And back in February of 2022, what division were you in?
The homicide,
And what division are you in now?
patrol.
And how long have you been with patrol?
With patrol, since I've been promoted to detective or at the beginning of my career,
From homicide to patrol, how long have you been?
about a year.
And
There you
were
get
you
to-
working on February 21st of 2022?
Yes, sir.
And were you called out to a shooting?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember where were you called out to?
It was at the corner of Blanco and West Mariposa.
And is that in Bear County?
Correct.
And when you arrived at the scene, why is it important that you go to the scene?
I was the lead detective for that case.
How is it determined who's the lead detective for a case?
We go through a roster. As soon as you handle a case, you get thrown to the bottom, and then first up gets the next case.
So it's kind of just like a,
Rotation.
there you go, thank you. Now, when you got to the scene, what did you do?
I began to gather the facts from the officers that arrived at the scene first, look to see how many witnesses and if they had anyone in custody.
And in regards to this case, was there anyone in custody?
There were 3 people detained at the time.
And where were those 3 people taken?
They were taken to headquarters.
And did you end up interviewing any of the people that were taken?
Yes, sir.
How many people did you interview?
1.
Now, before we get to that interview, whenever you were at the scene, did you walk around?
Yes, sir.
What are you trying to do when you're walking around?
Gather the facts, support the evidence that's located.
Would it be fair to say you're trying to get an idea of what happened?
Correct.
And while at this scene, did you watch any video?
A short video, yes, sir.
Where was this video from?
From inside the convenience store located at that corner.
And what did that video show you?
It showed me the incident that took place.
Now, did that video have all the information from that incident?
No,
Okay, and in fairness, you ended up watching quite a bit of video for this case.
yes,
And does it turn out, did you watch all the video?
no, sir.
Were you made aware of other video that was existing that you didn't have in your custody?
Repeat the question, sir.
Were you aware of any video that existed that you just weren't aware of whenever you were conducting your
was.
investigation?
Yes, sir.
And have you had a chance to review that new video?
Yes,
So I want to point you to, it's the original video that you saw. And I'm showing you what's already been marked and entered as States 52.
It should be on this screen here as well.
has a glare.
Oh, okay, sure. Then turn around.
So I'm stopping the video at 14:27:15. Do you recall that day seeing this video at the scene?
Yes,
Did you see the full video?
no, sir.
But did you see the relevant portions?
Yes.
I'm going to play from 14:27:15. I'm also going to zoom in on the video.
Apparently, we aren't going to hear the video or see it, but he'll hopefully explain it to us. Can you tell us what we're watching, sir? Here we go. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they haven't played it yet. Maybe we will hear it.
Now I'm stopping the video at 14:28:24. So prior to speaking to anyone, you were able to at least to view that portion of the video.
Yes, sir.
And after watching the video here, what did it appear to you? What does it appear to you that is happening in this video?
A robbery that is taking place.
And what led you to that conclusion?
The way the person standing outside the car puts his hands up, it's taking off his shoes, and a person jumps out from the backseat with a gun in his hand.
And so you did interview one of the,
Yes, sir.
and who was that individual that you interviewed?
An individual by the name of Oscar Martinez,
And how old was Oscar Martinez at the time that you interviewed him?
19.
And prior to interviewing him, did you give him a Miranda warning?
Yes, I did.
And generally, just explain, what is a Miranda warning?
It gives him the right to, not talk to me at all, seek counsel. He has a right to choose to speak or not.
And do you have to give this, do you have to read the Miranda rights before every interview?
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna approach with what's been what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 95. You recognize this disc?
Yes,
And have you had a chance to view what's on this disc?
I did.
What's on this disc?
That is my interview with Oscar Martinez.
Okay. And aside from a few redactions for legal reasons, has it been altered or amended in any way?
No, sir.
Your Honor, state what offer State's Exhibit number 95.
No objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit number 95 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish?
Granted.
Gabby, click on the $ down there by chat, and it should bring up super sticker, super chat, and then your free, like your member monthly milestone chat or something like that. It should be on the very bottom, because when you don't have one, it'll disappear. But I can't, like, I clicked that and found mine, but I can't do it for anybody else. There you go. Look at us. we're learning. No. We're learning. Yay. So once a month, you'll get that, and you get to send that, and then it'll tell, I can say, yay, Gabby's been a member for 4 months. So yay, Gabby's been a member for 4 months. I'm glad you're right up there with me. We are a bunch of boomers. So yes, look at us go, learning something new every day. Kind of sucks that we cannot hear this video. Also, he interviewed the only adult at the time. I know. So I don't know if you caught that or not, but he only interviewed the defendant because he was 19 at the time. Everybody else was underage. Not that he couldn't interview him, just have to have their parents there with them. Also, can you imagine coming and being questioned by the state when they said, yeah, his interview skills sucked? Paraphrasing, of course, but that's basically what they said. Hello.
And what is this a video of?
We don't.
That is one of our interview rooms down at main headquarters
And what's the purpose of taking someone into the interview room?
to speak to them privately away from everyone else.
Are
Have
there,
it recorded.
so there are cameras in the interview room?
Correct.
I do think we get to hear the interview. I hope, because I heard some of it when I was going through to see if he was the only witness on this part of it.
Pause the video
Never mind.
at 16:56:03. Who are we seeing here in this portion of the video? I'll play it for a second.
Oscar Martinez.
And do you see Oscar Martinez here in the courtroom?
Yes,
And can you point him out and describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
he is seated to my right, and he's wearing a jacket with a white shirt unbuttoned without a tie.
And let the record reflect that the witnesses identified Oscar Martinez. I am going to stop the video here at 16:58:31. Now, at this point, before you've interviewed Oscar, have you had a chance to watch all the video involved in this case?
No, sir.
Have you had a chance to speak to every single witness that's involved?
No, sir.
So why are you, what are you trying to do when you're talking to Oscar?
Trying to in the facts what really happened.
And based off your training and experience, are defendants who are in the interrogation room, are they often cooperative?
No,
And do they often tell the truth initially?
no,
But sometimes it happens.
occasionally.
Well, I'm Mark. Okay. How old are you? 19. 19, what you did, bro? July 9th, 2002. What is it? July 9th, 2002, 070902. 070902. Okay, that's what I got. All right, look, I'm gonna read you something, okay? I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that's gonna be important to you. You may want to listen. Yes, sir. Before you ask any questions, it is my duty as a police officer to advise you of your rights and to warn you of your consequences of waiving these rights. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to make any statement oral or written to anyone. Any statement that you make will be used in evidence against you in the court of law or at your trial. You have a right to have a lawyer present to advise you before and during any questioning by police officers or attorneys representing the state. You may have your own lawyer present, or if you're unable to employ a lawyer, the court will appoint a lawyer for your charge now or any other time. If you decide to talk with anyone, you can, and you can't stop talking to them at any time you want. The above rights are continuing rights which can be urged by you at any stage of the proceedings. You understand what I just read to you? Yes, sir. Okay. So right now, it's 4:59, and I just read you your rights, and you understand what I just read to you. The day then. What happened today then? So where you going to, we're just putting gas, we're gonna put gas, but Who's we? me and my friends, name? I want everyone that was in that truck. It was me and then my friend Josh and the driver's Josh, and then the other guy, the little kid Chris, he was in the passenger, and then the one that just passed away. Chris is the one that passed away? The other one, yes, sir. How old is Chris? Oh, my sister, my sister. Okay, what's his last name? I think they're all Mejia, I think so, not two sisters. Okay, who else is with you? Jeremy, the two we have right now, Jeremy and Junior. Junior? That's just what we call him, that's what I call him, Junior. Jeremy's the one, the other one here, and then Junior, the other one that we have here. Okay, would that be, one man? Yes, sir. Who else is with you? That was it. There was 4 of you? Yes, sir. What about the guy at the hospital? Which one? Who's the guy at the hospital? It was just, me, Junior. So there's 5 of y'all? No, there's, me, Junior, well, there's, Josh is the one that got, the driver, the one that got hit in the side. And he's at the hospital? Yeah, so there's, Josh, me, and Chris, and Junior, and Jeremy. There's 5? Yes, sir. Okay. What were y'all doing? Okay, we were putting gas, and then we said we'll just put gas at another gas station, because it was not that expensive, but we know another one where it's like a little bit cheaper gas. And so we're taking off, and we're putting off, there was a guy at the corner just standing like at in front of the store. And he had his hand in his pocket and he looked and he was just like that. He was like that. And then we put over him like, what's up? And he's like, hey, I need anything? Like, I didn't even know. Well, what's up? And then he just, my friend, the one, Chris, the one that got shot, he's like, hey, he has a gun in it because he could see the extended clip. And he's just like, well, now you good, dog, go. And then we're going to take off. And he was like, putting it out a little bit more. He's like, I'm going to need that. And then that's whenever my friend Chris got out, he started tackling him. And then he couldn't really talk to him because he was smaller, but he got
Where did you start tackling?
because he had a gun and he was trying to rob us because he pulled up the gun and he's like, I'm gonna need that. And he pulled up the gun, he started pulling out the gun, and then my friend Chris, when he just got out and tackled him, he's like, hey, you have to gun one shot. That's when he tackled him, and then we were all about to get out because he was drinking with my friend Chris, they were like for the gun, and then my friend Chris like let go of him and he started shooting at us and then he shot my friend Chris.
Where was he standing when he started shooting at you?
The trash can, like where the trash can was at.
The dumpster?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where were you on?
We were in the car.
Where was the car parked?
Right there, like literally just where it was parked up the street, it was literally like just like where the back on like in front of the dumpster, like basically by the sidewalk, like not the sidewalk, but on the street, like parked. Like not even parked though, we're just saying like one for.
So he was trying to jack y'all, or
Yes, he was trying to.
he was gonna jack five of you guys?
Yeah, cause he had his like gun, he was about to have his like gun, well basically he put on, he's like, I'm gonna need that, and my friend saw the little extended piece right here, and he already started, hey, he has a gun, watch out. So then he opened the door and that's when he grabbed him because he was pulling it out like this. And then my friend got on like wrapped his arms on him, he the gun like went like this, so like he couldn't do it. And they started wrestling and then he like tossed my friend off and he started shooting him. Well, not at me, but at him, and then he shot my friend in the head.
I'll be right back.
Now I'm gonna stop the video at 17:03:40. So you spoke with Oscar for a brief period of time, right?
Correct.
And why did you only speak with Oscar?
Because the other two we had detained with juveniles.
And is there a different process to speak with juveniles?
Yes.
And Oscar was the only adult.
Yes, sir.
So what was Oscar's initial story?
That the individual standing outside the truck was trying to rob them
And why were they at the gas station?
to fill up with gas.
But they never did.
No, sir.
And so again, the story is this person who approached the car is trying to rob us. Is that correct?
That's his story, yes, sir.
All right, so he was trying to jack y'all. Okay. You know we have video. Yes, sir. What's the video gonna show us? Like, what happened? Yes, sir. So what happened? This what happened, sir. Okay. Who fired from you guys? They fired the kid that's dead now. Who fired? The kid that's dead now. That's it? That's all the people that fired? Well, and him, who? The other guy. Okay, who else? Not too sure. Who threw the guns in the trash can? I'm not too sure, one of the other guys. Who? I didn't see, I was right there with my friend, and I was crying, and I was calling my mom, and I'm not too sure who threw the gun. But my friend had the gun, he left on the floor whenever he died, like he shot him in the head, and then he just hit his gun to his throat. And then I'm not too sure. Now's the time to tell me everything, okay? So I have to tell you everything. Do you know how many people died in this? No, just another friend of him? Yeah, he's one. Just one? Or two? I just heard that a random victim got shot across the street and he died. 60-year-old man minding his own fucking business and he gets shot and dies because you fucking guys start having a gunfight. Now I'm gonna ask you again, who shot? He did shoot at my friend. He shot my friend, and I don't know, first he missed a couple of shots, because he didn't just shoot my friend, and my friend one that's dead now. Do you understand that we have GSR, you know what GSR is, right? No, sir. Okay, they took little samples of your hands. Oh, yes, I know, sir. Okay, and what's your hands gonna say? Did you fire a gun, yes or no? No, sir. Are your fingerprints gonna be on one of those guns in the trash can? No, sir. You positive? Yes, sir. They're under and it's because he had the gun on the truck and we had him there and then he literally just started shooting at us and then my friend. I'm gonna walk away for a second, okay? I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes. So look, I'm being straight up. And I'm being straight up. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm telling you everything, look, I'm telling you, the guy who is in the back, the driver shot, the one that got shot, I don't know if my friend okay, the bigger one, he shot one of the guns. And then my friend Chris, one that's dead now, shot one of the guns, and the other one, the one that's, he had shot, they had two of them, he had two of them in the dumpster. And who was this guy that took out from? The guy who took out running was, the guy that was shooting at us. What's his name? I swear to God, I don't know his name, sir, we don't know his name. So all these phones that I have, cell phones, I'm not gonna have a number for that guy that. No, sir. No, sir, we really don't know this guy. So y'all were at the wrong place, wrong time, so to say? Yes, sir, because he's literally breaking us down. Like, why would he stop? We don't know what he wanted. Why stop? I don't know, when my friend stopped, the one that shot and the Josh, he stopped, he was like, what? He's like, what's up? And he's like, what's up, wait? And then he came and he's like, hey, no, I need someone. They were like, well, what's up? And then that's when he started happening. So that is what happened. We were there, they had, my friends had the gun, we weren't doing nothing. So you were gonna put gas and decided not to put gas? Yes, sir, because my friend, we're leaving to Walmart because he was gonna get mud tires for his truck, because those are all spare tires on that truck. Whose car is it? My friend Josh's, the one that shot in the heap, so we're leaving to Walmart. And that car is legal? Yes, sir. Yes, no, it's. How about the guns, the rest of the guns? Those are theirs, I don't know, so, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not legal because the auto is only one, so obviously, but. There's guns there, and whose car is it? It's Justin Mom's. Y'all can run it and everything. Y'all can ask her. It's Justin Mom's. Is it stolen? No, sir. It's under her name. It's Justin Mom's. The one that shot, y'all can run it and everything. It's all that. Okay. Where we all coming from today? We're coming from his house. Whose house? My friend Dustin. Where does he live? We're like Clark. You came all the way from the east, what were you doing on that side? Well, because he was looking for one tires because yesterday, like, because he wanted one tires, but he doesn't like, he just like specific one tires. And he said, well, we're going to have one tires. Okay.
I'm gonna fast forward now. $17.12.50.
Water, right? There you go. Um, you know, when we get these cases, I go out there with a bunch of other detectives and a bunch of people start working this case. And we start looking at video and all that kind of stuff. Well, we pulled the video and it doesn't appear like that guy was trying to jack him. So y'all can see it, y'all can see. We did see it. We did see it, sir. He did have a gun after he was being jacked. Now, I'm gonna ask you, because your buddies, they're not gonna. No, that's why I told you. Listen to me carefully. Yes, sir. Your buddies, they're not gonna, they don't give a shit about you. Once all this comes down, they don't give a shit. You're the oldest one of the bunch, man. I know, sir, that's what I mean, like, that's. Whose idea was it to jack the student? So we really weren't, he was like, just asking at first if we needed anything, what do you got? And then he was like, that's whenever we all started freaking out, because he had the gun. And then that's whenever the guy with the here, he had one, and then the guy that's dead, and the guy that shot, they had one, and then he just started putting out a gun, and then they just started firing. Here in a second, I gotta get on the phone with the district attorney. And they're gonna ask me what I think happened. And from just looking at the video, this guy looks like he was about to be jacked.
So, I was
This
just
was,
trying to exactly.
check it out.
I got off.
I understand you weren't trying to jack him. Who in the group was trying to jack him?
I don't know if they had started, we literally didn't talk, I don't know if they had started acting like they just did out of nowhere, that we didn't talk about it, we didn't talk about jacking him, we didn't talk about nothing, so I just, they started.
But who was trying to jack him? The guy that you don't know, the guy that was minding his own business,
The guy that didn't know.
the guy that's dead now?
Yes, sir, cause he had jumped out first, and cause he had shot him with the gun, and he had started freaking out too, that he had a gun. And then, so that's whenever, cause he was already putting it, I don't know if he, not like putting it, but you could see it, so we didn't know what he was doing or what, and then, so that's whenever they started firing, I just ducked him in the back for cover, and
Okay, you're getting there. Because earlier, you know, you said that this guy was trying to jack you. Trying to jack the group. But then I approached you and said, we saw the video.
I know, but I'm saying I'm saying the same, you could see him with the gun. And
He may have had a gun, sir.
My friend got freaked out.
He did.
He opened the door, and that's whenever they had got into it, and that's whenever he shot him.
Okay, and I know the other guy had a gun. That's a fact. I know that. But whose idea was it to jack that dude? I know it wasn't yours.
No, sir.
That's not your idea. You're trying to change your life. Whose idea was it to jack that dude? That's all the simple question I'm asking.
So that the guy that.
Yeah, look at this.
The guy that did it, he just did it out of nowhere, like he literally, the guy that did not just open his door and start doing everything out of nowhere, and that's what everything. Of course, if you see one friend and then if you know another person has a gun and you see your friend like struggling with it, you're gonna help him. So when he did out of nowhere, that's when every shots just started going on.
I understand that part.
No, I'm not talking about saying like, he just did it out of nowhere, that's what I'm trying to tell you, like, we weren't like, hey, or they like, they weren't talking like, hey, yeah.
So the dead guy that's laying out there on the street right now,
Yes, sir.
your buddy,
Yes, sir.
he decided to go fuck with this dude.
And he just opened the door and he got so much out of it, that's what they started.
You're getting there. I need the truth, man.
So that is the truth, that I'm telling you, you had asked me who had the gun, I told you, so I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know that, and I appreciate it.
I'm being cooperative with you.
Yes, you are.
I'm really not trying to tell anybody, it's just a group of friends, but I mean, at the same time, we're not bad people, it's just, though, he had.
I didn't say you're bad
No, I
people,
know, so I'm just.
but the video shows that one of you guys is trying to jack it, and I'm trying to figure out who, and it's not you, because you're wearing all red, it's not him. Whose idea was it to jack this fucker?
I'm telling you, sir, it was the guy that was on the floor this day, no, my friend.
He decided to jack him.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He was,
Thank you for telling me that. See how easy that was?
yes, sir.
Once you tell me, it all moves. So it was a dead guy. Where was he seated? Where was he sitting?
The passenger,
What passenger side?
the passenger,
Front passenger?
yeah.
Okay, so where was the SUV?
Right there where the dumpster was at.
Okay.
The cars, like, the dumpster's like right here, and then our car's like, the dumpster's right here, and he was like, we're walking right here, and our car's like, hey, right here, this is the sidewalk, we're like, you know, how you put it on purpose.
Yeah,
The dumpster's right here, like this.
And then what, the deceased, he gets out of the car and then approaches this dude?
You see him?
The deceased, the guy that's dead, your buddy,
Yes, sir.
he gets out of the front passenger side to go walk towards the dude?
No, he was coming to the car, and then that's whenever, like.
What side was he coming to the car?
Passenger side.
To the passenger side.
And then he had got out, like, my friend saw his gun, cause he was walking like, stay with his hand in his jacket, and my friend saw he had a gun, and then my friend is dead now. And so whenever he just got out, and he had his gun, and then so whenever they had started like wrestling at first, and then that's whenever we just, he had missed the first couple of shots, like, to us he did, I'm not sure if that's whenever they started hitting. Cause my friend was shooting like that way, like towards, like, he was right there where the store was at, and he was shooting this way. So that's why I was, but whenever my friends are shooting, they were.
Where was the guy that took off running? Where was he standing?
Right there where the dumpster was at.
Okay.
So the house was right there behind it.
Okay, so from where that guy started firing, that means your buddy, the dead guy, he had to walk as far as the dumpster, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Cause my friend was right there, like, right there where the dumpster was at, right there.
okay, but he took it on upon himself that he was gonna go jack this dude.
Yes, sir.
For what purpose?
Cause he had a gun now. Well, it wasn't like I'm saying, so it wasn't planned, it was just because he had a gun and my friend saw that, he was like, hey, yo, he didn't I don't know, yo, my friend, the street mate that did not, he's like, well, what's up? And that's whenever he's like, hey, hold on, because he started going like this slowly, like he started going like this, just slowly on everything. And then my friend's like, hey, what you doing? You got a gun here? What you doing? What you reaching for? And he's like, well, you good, go ahead. And he's like, nah, and then my friend, he got a good one time, he was in the joint, that's all that happened, and then they were wrestling. And then there was a couple of shots fired from him, and then we all started dunking, and then my friend, I know, I was pretty sure it was all shot, they shot. And then he shot at us, and then he had shot my friend, and
Okay, we're not to that point yet about all that shooting. But to your knowledge, to what you know, your buddy, the dead buddy, he was gonna go jack this dude up.
yes, sir.
What was he gonna jack him for?
I don't know, just because he freaked out because he had a gun, like it wasn't planned like I'm saying, sir, it wasn't like planned like we didn't.
Okay, so he had a gun, why not just take off?
Because he was gonna, we didn't know what he was gonna do, we didn't know if he was gonna try and rob us, like shoot at us when we take off, or we didn't know what, so we had, basically we had a gunpoint, sir,
Okay,
but we didn't.
what purpose
Oh, Jody.
did your friend, your dead friend,
I can't speak for him, so I don't.
why would he get out?
We are listening to the defendant over there get interrogated by what the state said was I'm going to paraphrase them, a crappy interview by this detective. We can't see any of the video because Judge Boyd never lets us. So we're just listening to it. So far, the only thing I've heard him say that kind of contradicts what they've said all along is that he said he wasn't in the front seat. He's never put a weapon in his hand. This guy hasn't put a weapon in his hand. He's seen the video from the store. We have not. So also, Jody, I'm going to make you a mod just so that I can see you better in here. You don't have to do anything with it. You can be the laziest moderator ever. Don't worry, Gabby does all the heavy lifting in here. But it just makes it so I can see you.
There was a gun.
Because I don't know, maybe just because he had one too, I'm not sure, it wasn't planned, sir, I don't know if he just thought because he had one too, if he could, I don't know, he just, it wasn't, like I'm saying, we weren't like, hey, yeah, let's do this, it wasn't planned, sir. And my friend was wrestling with him, that's the only everything happened.
Okay, when they wrestled with him, where did they wrestle?
When
Where did they wrestle?
they were right there in front of the chest, like right there with the.
No,
the
the
dumpster.
video didn't show that. The video shows them more close to the car.
Oh, they're like right there, like close to the car, and like we're not close to the bottom enough, sir. So I was like ducking because they had to start doing that. And he had a gun, and then that's whenever when I looked, he was already like there, like I listened, so I just started ducking.
All right, hang on.
I'm really looking forward to the cross.
Fast forwarding the video to 17:27:56.
So we're clear. Josh is the driver.
Yes, sir.
Chris,
Based on this day,
where was he sitting?
I'm gonna the passenger.
Where was he sitting?
I've been passenger. I was.
Back passenger, maybe?
Well, yeah, well, I'm not. It was. That was in the front. That's where he had helped out. I just started cooking.
Okay. So they're watching the video over and over right now, and that's who I called. Y'all sat at the gas pumps for a long, long time.
Yes, sir.
And then the guy walks up, he's at the front of the store.
Yes, sir.
Front, it's not by the dumpster, it's by the
Well,
front.
he was, but that's what I'm saying, we're about to park at
Let
the
me-
gas station. I'm sorry, sir, but what was
Just let me finish. So he's at the front of the store. The doors, because I got video of him standing here. Y'all say something to him. And then he's like, what? and he walks over.
He had said something to us already, so that's when
Okay.
we said, oh, we had.
How can you not hear him if y'all are sitting in the car, you never got out of the car?
The windows were rolled down.
Okay.
We're like, we're not driving like fast, like, we're not driving fast, so okay.
Okay.
We're just barely pulling off. So-
Okay, so then you pull up and he walks up, y'all, he talks to y'all for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's whenever he had walked up, sir, he had been like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I got it. Like, you know, like, well, what's up? And, you know, and I was just talking, and then my friend was like, hey, like, he got the gun.
Who's gonna check him, man?
Excuse me?
Who's gonna check him?
We might be in a jacket. I'm telling you, sir, we're not getting accepted.
If that's where you wanna.
No, sir, it's not. I'm just saying, like, we did, like,
There's a reason why the deceased, your buddy that's dead, jumps out from the back seat.
because he wanted to check him, but he wanted to do it. It's just what, I don't know, like, what he was
So the
thinking.
dead guy wanted to check him.
He hopped up because I don't know, like, he's like, I don't know, sir, I don't know what he was thinking, sir. He had said he had a gun, and then actually he had just hopped up, sir.
The guy never showed a gun. The camera showed.
No, sir,
The camera.
we seen it, that's why we had started freaking.
Okay, you may have.
Seen the extended, he had an extended clip.
Okay, you may have seen the gun, but he wasn't pulling forward, he wasn't reaching for
So
it.
he was standing like.
I understand that, sir.
I know, sir, but I'm just trying to tell you, like,
Where were you sitting in the Suburban?
I was in the back,
Where?
in the back, in
The middle?
Yeah, no, not the middle, the other one, like I'm not.
So behind the driver's side?
Yes.
Okay, how could you see all that if he's standing right there by the passenger side?
So it's a car, it's like a big Suburban, like this, we're just like looking right there, like, we can see, like, where the windows rolled down, sir, it's like, we can.
Right.
He's standing right there, like, at the driver, and he could, like, everybody can see him, sir. It's not like it's not like you can't see him, like, we all see him, we're just looking at him, sir. That's when my family has it done. They all started freaking out, that's when everything started happening, sir.
When someone said he had a gun, did your friend ever jump out before or after someone said maybe he had a gun?
After he said that, after he said he had a gun, my friend hopped up, and that's when they started arresting him, and my friend got started to think.
Something made you guys get out of that car, or not you guys, because no one else got out. Something made your buddy, the dead guy, get out of that car. What made him get out of the car?
Well, I can't say, I'm sorry, I don't know, we weren't playing it, so that's what, I don't know if we're trying to, like, we weren't playing to rob, we don't know the guy, we don't know his name, we don't know nothing about this dude, like, it wasn't planned, nothing was planned, we were talking, and we had just started with the gun, and my friend, I don't know, they weren't whispering nothing, I didn't hear them whispering nothing, like, hey, get out, but like, nothing was just there, and I was just looking at him, and I see my friend, hey, he got a gun, and my friend got out.
Who said that?
One of the, what's his name, the Cougar attorney, he's like, he got the good, and that's whatever. They had got out the car, or not, they were Jeremy.
What's Jeremy gonna tell me?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Jeremy or Chris, the one that dead was not, that's just been like, saying the same thing, but I don't know if it was Jeremy or Chris, that, yeah, he got a gun, but he got a gun, and they go, hey, he got a gun, and that's whenever Chris, the one that's didn't know, open the door, and that's whenever they started, everything happened.
Have you returned to change your mind?
I am, sir,
Why don't you tell me the truth?
that is, sir.
No, it's not, sir. I know damn well that's not the truth. If a guy has got a gun, why not get the fuck out of there? Why did someone have to jump out? Because the intentions weren't because he had a gun. You guys don't have a fucking badge or a gun. Well, you have a gun, but you don't have a badge to serve and protect. What's your reason behind getting out of a fucking car?
I didn't, sir, I didn't.
I'm asking, what is the reason for your friend to get out of a fucking car if the guy's got a gun?
I'm not sure, sir, they just.
What was the plan?
We didn't have, like, he just.
You may not have the plan, but someone in that car did. Because you don't strike me as the kind of individual that says, let's jack this dude. So now's the time.
First time I've been through.
You want to be in the military? Now's the time to come clean.
So they were trying to, I don't know, so I don't know how to explain, there was just, he had came and everything was happening so fast, sir, and
Well, I have nothing but time. Explain it to me.
I know, sir, but I was just trying, I don't know how to explain it, sir, like.
Yes, you do. You tell me the truth.
That is the truth, I wasn't, I don't know how to explain it. The dead guy just running around, sir, just, I don't know,
The dead guy wanted to rob him. Yes, you do know. Don't tell me you don't know, because you wouldn't be saying that he was trying to rob him if you didn't know.
Sir,
Okay,
obviously.
let me
Jumped out the car, sir,
what was your first name again?
Oscar.
Oscar, let me explain something to you. When you start to say stuff like that, you're trying to tell the truth, but then you catch yourself.
No,
And
sir,
you say, I don't know.
It's just because, I mean, obviously he was trying, I mean, obviously you're gonna think someone's gonna try to rob me if they hop out the car. That's what I'm gonna think if I'm walking or if I call someone, they just end up popping out the car. I mean, that's what I'm gonna think they're trying to. So, I mean, obviously, sir, I can't speak for you. I don't.
Well, someone else had to know what was about to take place.
The driver.
The driver. He had to have known, right? You would think, because what if your dead friend jumps out and all of a sudden the driver takes off because there was a gun and then he's left there in the open? So someone else had to know the plan.
So, I don't know, sir.
Sir, help yourself out right now. I'm telling you, this is.
All right. Again, we can't see the video because Judge Boyd doesn't show us. The kid that jumped out of the car was 14. The driver was the brother of that kid. Maybe he did know. Maybe Oscar didn't know. I don't know, but they had it going in that it was him, and he's the only one they're talking to because he's the adult. Everybody else is a minor, and they don't talk. Well, I don't know. Eventually, maybe they talk to him, but he only talks to him, the defendant, because he's an adult. He's 19 at the time. It was all a bunch of bad decisions, all of it. And so my opinion might be changed if I could see the video of where and how people got out of the car. They still have not put a weapon in his hands at all. Oh, there you go, Jody. Well, you know what? I finally figured out how to tell my members how to put up their monthly member chat that they get. Gabby and I have been discussing it, trying to figure it out forever now. And I finally found it today. It's a day of discoveries. Oh my goodness. I guess we can all go to bed now. We've all learned stuff for the day. We're good. We're good. I'm trying not to get angry at this cop or this investigator because I keep telling myself, I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen the video. I don't know what he saw. It just seems he had an agenda and it was that kid's fault. They haven't talked about yet. They were all there for the wrong reasons. They were there to do a deal. The guy that was the dealer brought a weapon. There's 3 other weapons in the car. None of them have clean hands. The whole situation's awful. Stupidity. Teenage minds. We're dumb at that age. Sorry. We are just dumb. We can't think the consequences through of what we're getting ready to do. Not at 14. Not at 17, 19. Yes, Gabby. Yay, all of us. Oops, I tried to hit
It's gonna
play.
go back for you.
So how, I didn't.
Because you're in a party that's responsible for 2 people that are dead. Okay, let me explain that to you in the state of Texas.
I know, sir.
No, you don't know, because you're sitting here fucking talking to me right now. That's why you don't know shit. Okay?
Ow.
You come clean.
So
What was the plan, sir?
So they were trying to.
Don't tell me I don't know. What was the plan?
I'm not, okay, my fault, I don't need to say them, but they were trying to rob him, I'm not that type of person to rob someone, I'm not.
I know you're not. Or else he would have been the one jumping out of the car. Or else he would have been the one driving that knew the plan. So that tells me that 2 people knew the plan right there. The driver and the dead guy. Because the dead guy's not gonna get out if the driver's about to take off. You must have overheard something, and now's the time to tell me what you overheard.
It was just them two.
Them two what?
Them two that wanted to do it at first. And
Do what?
They wanted to rob him at first.
At first?
When they tried to, I mean, I don't know they tried to, but when they were talking about like, cause they have the.
Well, obviously they didn't succeed, right? Because the guy got away. What were they trying to rob him for?
I'm not sure. Dad just said, because at first they were like, what's he done? And that's when he said, I got something I remember, like, let's get him in there. Cause like, he was like talking when he was running, not when he was coming to the car. He's like, hey, let me know. That's when, well, what you got? And my friend was like, let's get him.
What friend?
The one that's been.
You said, let's get him?
That's when the driver was just like, no, hold on, I don't even know.
And when we're talking about the driver, we're talking about Joshua, right? Joshua Mejia? Okay.
I don't know, and then he was like, hold on, I don't know, and then that's when, I don't know, he was just saying, hold on, because I wanted to see if he had anything first, and then that's whenever my friend Chris, the one that's been out, just said he had a gun, and that's when he got out.
But your intentions were to rob him, not your intentions, but people in the vehicle, the intentions were to rob this fucker, right?
I mean, he was, I guess, I don't know, I guess his son was pulling the gun first, so.
Oscar. Keywords to stay away from right now. I don't know is not gonna work here, okay? Stay away from I don't know, because you do know. Okay, so let's stay away from I don't know. Okay, let's just get rid of those words. All right, so you know it was talked in the car, and now's the time to tell me.
So, I mean, there's something going on. No, my fault. That thing though, I wasn't a part of it. I wasn't a part of like, I'm not the type of person that hop out of it, like, I know.
What was discussed between the driver, Joshua, and the deceased, Chris?
At first, whenever they had saw him, when he had first called us, then he like, I need anything below, and then that's whenever Chris doing it, then like everything I see, but we guys get up, everything. My friends and us was just like, well, I don't know, let's see. And so whenever he's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, well, man, that's whenever he's on me that. And he also, I don't know if he was trying to rob us at the same time, but we saw his go, like, he has a gun, and then that's whenever he started happening. That was just.
Maybe his gun was taken out because he knew what you guys were gonna do.
Well, I mean,
Could that be the possibility?
I wasn't trying to rob, I wasn't trying to rob this dude, I wasn't, not trying to do the rob the dude. I mean, in my first, like, shooting I've ever been in, I was shaking up, my friend just died, another friend is, I don't even know how he is.
So you worried about your friend and the guy that, your other friend that got shot? What about the old man that was in his house minding his own fucking business? What about that?
Yes, I mean, him told me it wasn't,
Because you fuckers wanted to rob a one dude.
I didn't want to rob him, so I'm not the type of person to rob him. We didn't want to rob him, nobody, it's just. Yeah, everything happened, sir, like everything that happened, the way everything that happened, I don't know, that happened fast, I just came up and that's when they were talking and my friend just got up, sir.
What did he say he had?
At first he was just saying, hey, let me know, he's like, let me know, he's like, what you doing, he's like, what's good, he's like, I don't know, I got
Let
it.
him know what he had to tell you what he had. I mean, if you're gonna go shopping, you're gonna know, you say, hey, do you have some mud flaps for the fucking SUV that we're about to go buy? Did you ask him that? Maybe he was trying to sell some mud flaps? No, he wasn't trying to sell mud flaps. What was he trying to sell?
So,
What was he trying to sell?
We didn't get to that point because everything that happened, because he had just said, let me.
You guys talked at that by the Suburban for the longest time. We got that on video. Yes, it was. Seconds matter when before a shooting goes down. A lot of stuff happens in between. You guys talked for a while. So what did he have? I don't give a fuck what he had. It's too late for that.
I don't know, sir, he just had a bag, he was like, you know, that's what they were talking about, let me
But you know what?
No, I'm trying to tell you, sir, they were asking him, they're like, hey, what do you got? They're like, what's up? And that's when they're like, what's up? Let me know. We're telling them, like, what do you got? And then that's whenever they had like just like his bag, cause he had a bag, and I don't know, that's whenever they had got up, or he had got up, Chris, and they had started wrestling. They had started wrestling, and that's whenever everything happened.
So the guy he had a gun on him, but he never took it out. He wasn't gonna use it. He was gonna sell narcotics to you.
I don't know what we saw him, the reason why we started freaking out was because we saw him going like this is the gun we saw, he had it like this, and then we just saw him going like sliding it like this out, sir. If you would, sir, if you saw the videos, you could see that too, sir, clearly, because.
Okay, so what was he gonna rob you for?
We don't know, sir.
Because you had guys that hadn't produced any money, you didn't even ask what was in the bank.
Yes, we did. We had asked him and he's like.
What do you think?
He haven't said just we didn't let him know. He was just saying he had.
Okay, so you had weed. Did y'all guys pull out money? Did you say, look, here's some cash?
No, we didn't.
Then why would he rob you?
I don't know.
He wants to make a deal. He's trying to feed kids at home. He's trying to do everything. He's trying to make a living selling weed. So did y'all didn't pull out any money for him to come?
You're turning this on us when we were though.
I'm not turning in anything on you. I want to know the truth.
My friend is dead and that, because when the other dude's shooting this way back towards the house, which is clearly the back of us, so I ended up trying to, like, I don't know, so. He shot too, y'all just act like we're like, you're saying he's trying to feed his kids. Selling joints is illegal, first of all, and of course you know, so he's mad.
All I'm going to say is if they're talking about Jerry Ortiz, I hope he's not trying to feed kids at home because he doesn't even know when Christmas is or Valentine's Day. He's not a very bright person or something. I don't know. He's the guy that they're talking about that they were supposedly trying to rob. He's the guy that admits to firing off the rounds. He's the guy that unalived Chris that now this guy's getting pinned for. They're all very young, and I'm not trying to be mean or cold or anything, but they don't seem very intelligent. And this detective here, to me, again, I'm only going by because I haven't seen that stupid video of he could be planting this kid, like everything he says, he keeps just going at him. And this poor kid, maybe he just does, I'll just tell you what you want to hear so I can get out of here. I mean, his story has changed somewhat, but not a lot. And he still hasn't placed anything in his hands of him doing anything. So again, stupid video.
No, no one's innocent in this. Nobody. Including you.
I'm a witness.
You're a witness.
I was there, but I mean, I know, but I didn't do anything, so I'm not this type of person who do anything.
Like I said, now's the time to come clean.
I did, sir.
Okay, so there was gonna be a lick, right? Y'all were gonna pull a lick.
I don't know, sir. That's what you
What did I say about the, I don't know.
call it. Yes, sir. That's what you call it. No,
No, that's what it's called, a lick, right? You're gonna rob someone? A lick. You said you hang around with the wrong people, they know what licks are, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what a lick is, right?
I don't know what you call it. You guys just say regular.
When you're gonna rob someone, right? It's a lick.
You're gonna jack somebody, I don't expect.
Okay, jack, lick, whatever you wanna call it. Your terminology is a little different than mine, I guess.
Sure, that was the truth, sir.
Okay. So so some people, maybe not you, but some people in the vehicle were going to pull a lick or jack someone.
I don't know, sir. That's how you're gonna put it.
No, you put it that way. That's what you told me right now, right? Did you say?
Because you're not trying to understand how like I'm coming from. Like if you see the video, you can see him sliding his gun out, sir. Like y'all said, y'all see that you can see him like he doesn't. I'm not saying he pulled it out on this or like he pulled it like this, and he didn't have his like gun point like this, sir. But you do see him like this, sir, like pulling like side, going to the side, sir. I mean, you're a bunch of kids. I mean, we're scared that he's gonna shoot if we drive off. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm scared that if anyone's gonna shoot if we're driving up or anything. I'm scared if you got a gun or anything.
Why stick around?
That I'm not the driver, sir.
Yeah, but the driver and your Chris buddy that's dead, they obviously knew the plan, right? Am I right?
You know, it's between them, sir.
But it was discussed among them, right? Because the driver's sitting in the driver's seat and Chris, from the video, he's sitting in the back right seat. So they just didn't read each other's minds. They didn't communicate, sending mind gestures or whatever. They had to communicate it out loud what they were gonna do. Am I right? Okay, check it out. What am I thinking right now? You don't know. We weren't supposed to use that word, but I'll take it this time. You don't know what I'm thinking. So how was the driver gonna know what the other guy was thinking?
No, sir.
There had been a plan spoken inside the car.
Then what is my sir?
There had to have been. There had to have been.
I told you, sir, that's whatever they had said.
What did they say?
I just told you, sir.
No, tell me again.
They're like you everything, they're just like, everything to see what he had, and then that's whenever Josh said, okay, well, let's see what he had, and then he came, and that's whenever they were talking about.
And then what? Let's see what he has to do what?
That's literally what we said, because he was already walking up to the.
You said earlier that they were planning on robbery.
So, I didn't say that, I mean, that's how you put it, so I mean, obviously, if you see a guy walking up, like I said, you're out the car, you're gonna think they're robbing you, or whatever, robbing you, but sir, if we're gonna rob him, we're not gonna be talking all loud so he can see, like, here, sir, so.
You walked up to your van, to your Suburban.
I know.
You had plenty of time to know what was going on. You guys sat at the gas pump for a long time.
We weren't there that long, sir.
Hmm?
We weren't there that long.
At pump number 6?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, you were there for a while. So a plan must have been discussed at some point. I'm trying to help you out.
I know, sir.
If you don't want to help yourself, that's
I
fine.
am trying to help, I'm telling you, sir, I've been cooperative this whole time, how am I not trying to help myself? I told you, I've been telling you everything, I've been telling you what I know.
Okay, then start from the beginning.
So we're at the gas station, when we were pulling up, we were right there, well, that's when we saw him, he had already called us, and my friend said, what's up? And that's when he flagged us down like that, and then we had flagged him, like flagged my friend, the judge was flagging him down, like, what's up? And then we had just pulled over to the, like, where the dumpster was at, and like the sidewalk, and then that's whenever they had just, that's when they was like, let me know that, hey, there's nothing, I got you, and then my friend down just talking. What do you got? While he was talking to my friend John, like, what do you got? And he's still like, I don't know. And then that's whenever crazy he got some gun. And he just like he could see because we all saw him like going like this and like, what side is this? And then got the gun. And then Chris got up.
You know that's not the way it went down, but that's fine.
Sir, what else do you want to do?
There was a plan. Whether it wasn't you that made the plan, but a
But
plan
that
was
doesn't have to
made.
put me in that plan.
If you say you weren't in that plan, you were in the plan.
I mean,
I'm trying to get you who made the plan up to rob this guy. That's all I'm asking. God damn.
it was the dead dude.
Wow.
I just told you
Oh,
earlier.
damn.
You told me earlier, but you said no. You changed your mind. Oh, I never said that. That's what you're saying.
Well, because that's what, I mean, obviously, sir, if you see someone gonna get out, like getting out the back car, what are you gonna think? Like, if you're, like, you know, still do like,
Who else knew about the plan?
driver, I told you, sir, I already.
So they discussed about jacking the dude.
That's what I had told you already, I mean, that's
Tell
all.
me again how they discussed it.
They had just said, let's see whatever you had.
No, they didn't see, let's see whatever they had, so they're just gonna stick around. That didn't mean that they're gonna jack the dude. There had been something else to make them stick around. There had been something else where the two were on board to know when to jack this dude. You're just not gonna say, oh, let's stick around, see what he has. No, something was said, let's jack this dude, or wherever you wanna call it.
They were just like, if he had anything, they were just gonna take it and they were just wanted to leave.
Who said that?
What's this guy?
The dead guy said, let's just take what he has and leave.
If he had anything,
Okay, dead guy said that. Who does he say it to?
it's driver.
Okay, so he made the plan with Joshua. Chris made the plan with Joshua to jack him. That wasn't hard, was it?
No, sir.
He said that the entire time. He never
Stop the video
backed
at
off of that.
17:48:35. Did you ever continue speaking with Oscar from that point on?
No.
And several times in that interview, you were asking Oscar, or you were telling Oscar that he wasn't the type of person to rob someone. Why were you saying that?
To get his trust and to start talking a little bit more about what really happened.
Well, as the interview went on, did Oscar say more about what happened?
A little bit.
Was he consistent in what he was saying?
No.
What was he not consistent on?
Just changing up the story, went from filling up with gas to buying mud flaps. And he just didn't want to come clean that there was a plan made in the car.
And does he eventually say that there was a plan?
Yes,
Who was the plan between?
between Joshua, the driver, and Christopher, the deceased.
Now, did you ever talk?
You know what? I'm about to go buy a pair of Crocs so I can put them on. or I can take them off. Whatever I need to do with freaking Crocs, because this guy, he never came off that the plan was between Josh and his brother Chris to do something. I did not hear any different. I heard him say a lot of different stuff, but I didn't hear Oscar say a lot of different stuff until this guy just kept pounding on him. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh. Ugh, That's I don't know. I feel bad to I'm not even like I'm not necessarily trying to defend the guy because they all made such horrible decisions that day, but they never even talked about the fact that Jerry Ortiz fired and shot unalived his friend, his brother's brother, his friend's brother, whatever. Joshua's brother, Chris. I'm flustered. I think you could have told him that rainbow came out of the end of the weapons 1,000 times, and he would have eventually told you the same thing just to agree with you because you are just not letting up off of him. He told you that. Josh and Chris, Josh and Chris, Josh and Chris. No, no, no. And then finally he says it's Josh and Chris, and you're like, okay, was that hard? I don't know. Yes, brother, sister, cousin is on Eastern Mountain Standard Ocean Pacific time. It's where they live. I can't. I cannot wait for Cross. Hurry
Talk
up.
to someone by the name of Jerry Ortiz.
No,
Jerry Ortiz?
he came in and I tried to talk to him, but he didn't tell me what happened.
So you did at least get a chance to speak with him.
Correct.
And was that, how long after the date was it that you got to speak to Jerry?
It was later that night of the incident.
And as you previously just said, was Jerry forthcoming with info?
No,
Did he contribute anything that helped with your investigation?
nothing at all.
And
Is Jerry free to go? Yeah. Judge Boyd, you're messing with my closed captioning.
I'll show you what's the March States Exhibit 96. Do you recognize this video? This disc?
Yes, sir.
And what's on that?
That is the video from the outside convenience store by the dumpster.
And what does it show?
It shows the actual incident occurring.
Okay, and is this a true and accurate copy of the video you viewed?
Yes, sir.
Has it been altered?
No.
Your Honor, State would offer State's Exhibit number 96.
I reviewed that, Your Honor, no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit 96 is admitted without objection.
Hopefully he'll at least explain to us what's happening.
All right, I'm sorry, State, just one moment. Before they play State's Exhibit 96, does anyone need a break or no?
No.
All right, if you'll continue then.
Permission to publish, Judge?
Granted.
And so what are we seeing in State's Exhibit 96?
That is the front left of the convenience store, front facing the convenience store.
Fast forward. 14/26/10. What are we seeing on the screen right now?
That would be Jerry Ortiz walking up to the store.
Go to 14/27/19. Pause at 14/27/23. What are we seeing right now?
That would be Jerry Ortiz walking towards the Suburban.
Skip ahead to 14/27/58. Do you see at the left side of the screen by the dumpster, do you see anything?
I see shadows
And what are these shadows of?
of the two people struggling.
And now at 14/28/07, who are we seeing right by that dumpster?
Jerry Ortiz.
What is he doing?
It looks like he is firing a weapon and trying to avoid getting hit.
And I'm gonna rewind just a few moments to 14/28/07. Now, do you see? Is there something peculiar about Jerry's feet?
The shoes are missing.
So he doesn't have shoes.
No, sir.
So you reviewed this video after you reviewed the first video, correct?
Way after, yes, sir.
And what does this video indicate to you?
That Jerry was being robbed at the time.
And does it show Jerry shooting?
Yes,
And then it shows Jerry running away.
correct.
Then it shows Jerry not being charged, or all charges being dismissed, and Jerry going home.
Show you what's been marked as state exhibit number 97. This is the video you viewed today. Had you had a chance before to see this video?
No,
Okay. And was viewing it, I believe you viewed it yesterday, is that correct?
a little bit, a portion of it yesterday,
But you saw the full video today.
today.
And had you had this video before?
No, sir.
So when you conducted your investigation, you did not have access to this video.
No, sir.
But based on the other videos and your knowledge of the case, does this video states exhibit number 97, does it show another angle of what happened?
Yes, it does.
And is it a true and accurate depiction of what happened?
It is.
State would offer states exhibit number 97.
No objection, Your Honor.
Right, States Exhibit 97 is admitted without objection.
All right, maybe this will do it. Maybe this will bring it around. Come on, Judge. I'm going to send Judge Boyd's flowers that says, please show us the videos. Thank you. I'm going to move these closed captioning. She's going to come back on the screen.
About 3:35:04.
Dang it. Sorry. It's like trying to catch a fish.
Now, Detective Morales, did you see that vehicle that just pulled into the gas station?
Yes,
What vehicle was that?
that's the Suburban that was involved in the incident.
Now, are you aware, how long did that Suburban stay at that gas pump?
Seconds, I couldn't tell you. It stayed there for a while.
Did he say seconds? I stayed there for a while.
Fast forward all the way to 3:36:40. Has that Suburban finally pulled away?
Yes,
Does that detective
Now,
keep
pausing at about
faster?
3:37:27. Do you see anyone walking out away from the convenience store?
yes,
Who is that?
that's Jerry.
I'm pausing at 3:37. I believe it's 55. What are we seeing happening in the video now?
That would be Jerry and Christopher struggling.
And I'm pausing at 3:38. I believe it's 03. Can you tell what's happening right by that dumpster?
Looks like there's a push off.
And then what happened there?
The shots start firing.
And are we seeing Jerry? He's acting in the same way that you acted in the other video. Is that correct?
Correct.
And now what are we seeing?
Jerry takes off running and the other people that are inside the vehicle come out to look at the condition of Christopher.
And it's difficult to see who's who in this, correct?
Correct.
Do you remember what was Oscar wearing on that day?
He was wearing all red and black tennis shoes.
So up to 3:38:39, we haven't seen Oscar yet.
No, sir.
So that would lead you to believe what?
He's still with the vehicle.
Now I'm pausing at 3:39:00. Can you see any movement inside the vehicle while this video is playing?
I did. This was slight, if that's what you want to call it. I couldn't testify to it. I'm testifying to it, but I couldn't tell if that's what it is, movement in the vehicle or a glitch in the video.
Fair.
At least he was honest about that. Oopsies. I'll come back. Don't worry, Jody. I've been doing stuff like that all day.
Pause the video at 3:39:46. Who's running away from the vehicle?
One of the other minors.
Were you able to make a determination as to?
I could,
And what were they doing?
at this point, he's gonna run up to a recycle bin and he threw 3 guns inside the recycle bin.
And was SAPD ever later able to recover those weapons?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I still a mod.
Also video at 3:39:49. Who do we see in this video now?
Oscar Martinez.
So he's finally gotten out of the car.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell what was he doing around where Christopher was?
I can't tell from that video.
I can't hear what you're saying, Jody, but I wish I could. All I see is you bashing your head on your microphone. It's hilarious. I agree. At least you put me in a better mood because I'm waiting over here for the state to just give me something. Also feel like I should have put some music in here or something. I'm not going to sing for you because I can't.
Now, I'm pausing the video at 3:41:20. Does anyone ever move the vehicle?
Yes, it's being looked.
Was it Oscar?
Uh, can you fast forward it a little bit
Fast forward.
or play it?
Hey, was that not a little leading there? Defense, come on. Was it Oscar?
Here, I'll
Was
rewind it.
defendant? Ah,
No,
It was not Oscar who moved the vehicle.
no, sir.
But while this video has been playing, has Oscar been going back towards the vehicle before it moved?
Yes,
did they want you to say it was Oscar?
Now, Detective Morales, I'm going to approach you with what's been marked as state exhibit number 98. Show you what's the contents of state exhibit number 98. Do you recognize this disc?
yes,
And
Gosh.
have you had a chance to watch this disc? What's on this disc?
yes, sir.
And what is on this disc?
It's a person in the back of
There she is.
resident fireman.
This a true and accurate copy of the video you've seen before as a part of this investigation?
Yes, it is.
And has it been altered or amended in any way?
No,
Your Honor, state would offer state exhibit number 98.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, state's exhibit number 98 is admitted without objection.
This guy has at least 2 places he can view the video. We don't even have 1. Maybe a new purse would make her show us the video. Maybe we should send her a purse.
Fast forward to about 14:27:40.
A purse face.
Pause at 14:27:54.
That might be
Detective
some
Rouse,
jail.
did you see that person that's in the top left corner of the video?
yes,
Did you ever make a determination as to who that was?
I did.
Who was that?
I couldn't tell you the last name, but the first name is Harley.
Was he a resident of that house?
Yes,
And how old was Harley?
I couldn't tell you that. He's a kid.
Define kid, because the older you get, the older what you define as a kid gets.
Now, I pause it at 14:28:20. Now, Detective Morales, were you ever able to make a determination as to whether Harley had a gun?
Yes,
And did he?
he did.
Did he fire that gun?
He sure did.
Oh,
Now, were any of the casings that were found that Harley had?
No.
Was the bullet that killed Enrique Bocanegra, was that shot by Harley?
No.
We just saw 14:28:24, the right-hand side of the screen. You see someone running down the alley?
Yes,
And who is that running?
Jerry Ortiz.
And where is Jerry going?
He attempted to jump his own fence, but kept running down the alley.
oh wow, we're getting sound. That's annoying.
I'm pausing at 14:28:50. Did you just hear the audio there?
I heard some audio, yes.
Did you understand what that person was saying?
I didn't make it out.
Pause at 14:29:12. How do you know that Harley didn't kill Enrique?
The bullets got matched up, when they got sent to the lab and it's a negative on that.
Speaking of the bullets getting matched up, was the bullet that killed Enrique Bocanegra, was that ever tied to a specific gun?
Yes,
Was it?
When?
yes, sir.
And what gun was that?
Jerry Ortiz,
Well, was Jerry Ortiz's gun ever found?
no,
So how do you know it was Jerry Ortiz's?
because it was the same, that came out of the Christopher.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We have
And-
not. That's not what the experts testified to. I heard just annoying sounds. Oh my gosh. I think you guys are all waiting for this Karen Reed verdict. You're getting like slap happy. I'm I'm just like trying not to go through my computer. Gabby, would you like me to buy you some stop sticks for the ice cream truck? Because I will. Throw those suckers right out there. Get you some ice cream. All right. This guy saying that round, the unalived Enrique, I can't ever say his last name, was tied to Jerry Ortiz's gun thing. Dang it. The people that collected the evidence, tested the evidence, never said that. They said they didn't know. They didn't have the weapon it came from. So how does he... This just gets worse. Not better. I hope the defense, you better caught that, sir. Well, I'd rather that I would have made the mistake of saying yum, not yam, than what I said. Dang it. Come on, state, bring it back around. You got to get out of here because nobody on your side has testified to this belonging to that. I know, Jody. I wish they would come back too. Just for you. Just for you. Karen's looking really tired too. I feel sorry for her. I can't imagine. Just knowing that 12 people you don't know, you're hoping that they saw what that the majority of us have seen. I know there's some of us that did not see it that way. I don't know how, but you didn't. It's fine. You're not on the jury. All right. I want to see. You can tell the state's kind of like, it did. It did come back to something. Yes, it came back to Jerry Ortiz's gun, but Jerry Ortiz's gun was never, that's the one that was never found. That's new. I bet you Jerry Ortiz knows where it is. Sleeping with the fishes.
Why there was that other angle from across the street? Not this video, but the other a prior video. Why was that video not recovered?
It was recovered by our tech team.
Was that video ever given to you?
No,
And
Why?
if no one told you about it, would you have known about its existence?
no, sir,
So no one ever told you.
no, sir.
Should you have asked to see if there was more video?
I should have, yes, sir.
That's
In
right.
hindsight, was that a mistake to not ask?
Yes, sir.
Now,
It's also, they should have told him
you
they had
earlier
it.
testified that when you talked to Jerry Ortiz, he did not give you any information. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we rewarded him with a sweet deal.
Have you had an opportunity to review the written statement that Jerry Ortiz gave to the district attorney's office?
Yes,
Lord.
Had you reviewed that before the end of your investigation?
no, I did not.
That was not made available to you?
That was not given to me, no, sir.
So they called his investigation crappy, but it sounds like the whole department was crappy.
I'll show you what's been marked as Appendix Exhibit 3. Is this the statement from Jerry Ortiz that you reviewed?
Yes, sir, it is.
And when did you get a chance to review that?
Earlier this morning, or this afternoon.
And so that information wasn't available back in February of 2022.
No, sir.
And after reading that statement, did that change your opinion as to what your conclusion in this case was?
Yes, sir.
Well, initially, what did you think happened?
I originally charged five individuals,
Who did you charge?
the four in the Suburban and Jerry Ortiz as well.
And how soon after this incident did you charge Jerry Ortiz?
Jerry Ortiz, I walked a warrant on him the following morning.
And that was after he didn't give you any information in his interview.
Correct.
And then I
But-
walked it back.
Based off of that statement, would that have helped in your investigation?
Yes, sir.
And after reading that statement, does that change your opinion as to, or would that have changed your opinion as to what would have happened with Jerry Ortiz?
Yes, it was.
How would it have changed your opinion?
Self-defense.
And
First time.
without that, you decided to walk a warrant. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
But with that now, you're saying that that would have changed your position.
Yes,
And after reviewing all the video that you've now examined, does that change your opinion as to what happened with Jerry Ortiz?
what happened in the incident, sir?
What happened in regards to Jerry, his involvement?
Right, no, it does, it changed the fact that he was being robbed at the time.
Now, you reviewed this video, correct?
Yes,
And in the video, does Jerry have the gun out when he goes to the Suburban?
no,
Does he pull the gun out before Christopher Mejia gets out of that car?
no,
When does Jerry pull the gun?
when he is being attacked and apparently being fired upon.
And at that point, had Jerry already given over items to the people in the Suburban? And what had he given?
Shoes, and I believe the baggie or the marijuana.
So you would agree that at the point that Jerry pulls out his weapon, he'd already given up everything that most of what he had had.
Yes,
So Jerry was not the first person to pull a gun.
no,
What was Jerry responding to?
the threat.
They've conveniently forgot Jerry was there to sell.
Did you ever collect DNA from any of the defendants?
Yes,
His hands are not clean in
Have
this.
you given over any reports regarding the collection of the DNA to the DA's office?
no, sir.
What about the search warrants?
Search warrants.
Can you recall were any reports generated or search warrants generated?
I can't go back that far and recall whether they were written in notes or whatever.
Was that a mistake?
Yes,
Just to be clear, did any of the guns in the trash cans or in that trash can? Did they play a part in Enrique Bocanegra's death?
no,
And you were never able to recover the gun that did play a role.
correct.
And at the conclusion of your investigation, you made a determination to arrest 5 individuals.
Yes,
But after having reviewed all the video and reviewed Jerry Ortiz's statement, does your opinion change as to one of those individuals?
yes.
What does that change?
Jerry Ortiz was acting in self-defense.
Has your opinion changed as in regards to what Oscar Martinez's involvement?
Not at all.
Pass the witness.
Finally.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to recess or continue with the cross? All right, defense, you may proceed.
Detective Morales, my name is Michael De Leon. I represent Jerry Ortiz.
No.
With
No.
a drug dealer.
Excuse me, counsel.
Yes.
You represent, I think you said Jerry Ortiz?
Did I say Jerry Ortiz?
I think so.
We talked a lot about Jerry.
All right, thank you.
Oscar Martinez. Detective,
Whew.
a drug dealer, which essentially, for lack of a better word, is what Jerry Ortiz was, correct? Selling marijuana, it's illegal?
Yes.
Okay. How does he get the benefit of doing something illegal and then invoking self-defense at that point? Can you explain that to the jury?
Please.
Well, at the point that he gave up all the property, being, had a gun at him, pulled on him, they jumped out on him. And at that point, it'd be a self-defense.
Okay, but Jerry Ortiz knows he's about to make a transaction for an illegal offense, a misdemeanor offense, you would think a misdemeanor offense for marijuana. He knows that's a crime. And yet you're telling the jury here that somehow he gets the benefit of the law when it comes to self-defense when he's doing an illegal act?
And that's the way I presented it to the district attorney's office, charging 5 individuals. I allowed them to make a call.
But with Jerry Ortiz, you're saying now that he is entitled to self-defense, correct?
After looking at all the evidence, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have a discussion with Assistant District Attorney Lauren Glasscock any time in December of 2022?
I couldn't tell you the date, but yes, I came in contact with her several times over the matter.
There was a discussion about that, correct?
Yes,
Okay. You understand that well, let's backtrack a second. The night of this shooting, Jerry Ortiz shows up to SAPD with his parents, correct?
yes,
He was taken into an interview room, just like Oscar Martinez,
yes,
and you were there to listen to what he had to say. And in the end, I'm sure he gave his name, date of birth, but besides telling you he was at the convenience store, he didn't give you any other details whatsoever, correct?
not one thing.
And then he asked to leave. Was he allowed to leave?
Yes, he was,
And why was he allowed to leave?
because I did not read him his Miranda rights. I thought that would have him open up a little more about the incident.
Sure, and that's totally fine and legal, correct?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. But Jerry chose not to cooperate at all at that point. It seemed like, when you show up to a police station, you're there to help, to try to explain your side or something. But he helped in no way whatsoever.
Not at all.
And you didn't even get to the point of saying, where is the weapon that you had, Jerry?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Fast forward 10 months, Jerry Ortiz shows up with his attorney at the DA's office and starts giving a statement. You know that now, correct?
Not under, yes, sir.
Okay. And he's had 10 months to perfect his story however he wants to suit it, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Annoying.
Why didn't you interview Joshua Mejia, the driver?
At the time I finished up with Oscar, the detective that was my wing, he was out at the scene and he developed some information on the possible identity of the person that ran away. So we placed everything on hold and I had to go out to type up a warrant to get inside the house.
Okay. And the house you're talking about is Jerry Ortiz's house,
Yes, sir.
located at 823 West Magnolia.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And I think that's the house we're talking about in the corner.
Yes, sir.
And this video, just completely off subject, this is the Beer King convenience store back surveillance camera, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got a warrant for the house, for Jerry Ortiz's house. And upon searching the house, what did we find?
We found a handgun that was taken into custody.
Okay. And that was a .40 caliber Smith.
I believe I'd have to look at the notes.
I have to look at them too. You want to look at your notes real quick? Just
I don't have them with me.
Of course. Oh my God.
you believe a copy of your report would assist you?
Yes, sir. My prosecution, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry. The prosecution has my notes here with the highlighted answers.
Detective, just for identity purposes, I'm gonna mark this as defense exhibit number. Somebody object if I'm wrong, 7?
Yes. That's correct.
Is this, if you could look at that and determine, is that your prosecution guide?
It's a copy of it, yes, sir.
All right, so let's go back to the home at 823 Jerry Ortiz's home. What kind of weapon was found there?
A Smith & Wesson ST-40 BE with serial number Hotel Foxtrot Uniform 8500.
All right, and were there any bullets associated with that?
It didn't show on here.
Okay. Did you do a trace on that gun to determine who was the owner?
I believe it included that all guns are traced and then put in the packet.
Okay, and do you recall who the gun came back to?
I sure don't.
Would you disagree with me that it came back to Jerry Ortiz's mother, Ms. Hernandez, at that same address?
I do not have the form from the ATF.
Nice. That's about what I'm saying in my mind right now, Jody. This is so frustrating.
Detective, I'm going to show you what's been marked as defense exhibit number 8 and ask you if you recognize that.
Oh, probably not.
This is the ATF request that I sent on.
Okay, and is that for that 40 caliber that you confiscated from 823 West Magnolia?
That is correct.
And who is the owner? Does that refresh your memory?
Cynthia Hernandez.
Okay, do you know that person to be the mother of Jerry Ortiz?
Yes.
Okay, so this was listed at that address for Jerry Ortiz's mother?
Yes.
Okay. While we're on the subject, let's talk about Jerry Ortiz had a girlfriend who lived at that same address, and her younger brother was Harley.
Correct.
Looking at that video, I forget exactly what number it is. We saw Harley, a kid. I would imagine well under the age of 10, but
Wow.
it appears, if you zoom in on that video, and I believe you have, it appears he has a semi-automatic handgun in his hand, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How did you determine that he had fired a shot from that 40 caliber gun?
He was, we brought him in and interviewed him.
Okay. And he stated he shot at least one shot, or
One shot fired in the ground.
did he say where he was shooting or why? Or
He just said he fired one time into the ground.
okay.
Probably knocked him on his
No
butt.
shell casings or anything recovered?
Nothing.
Okay. Did you find it, as part of your investigation, did you find it odd that Jerry Ortiz's girlfriend's younger brother was out there with a 40 caliber at the exact same time Jerry Ortiz is about to make a transaction?
I did.
But not that odd.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And we determined that the 40 caliber recovered from that home was not the gun that fired the bullet that killed Enrique Bocanegra.
Yes.
Okay. Now, a little while ago, you stated that Jerry Ortiz's gun, which was never recovered, was the gun that fired those multiple bullets into Enrique Bocanegra's home.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Christopher Mejia, he was shot with entry and exit wound out the back of his head. And I don't.
Those closed captionings were not my fault. Hold Oh, whoa. I had nothing to do with what they just said at all. I have no control over them. Wow. Sorry if you missed it, but not really. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I I had nothing. I had nothing. Nothing to do with that. I'm embarrassed and I didn't do it. It okay. I can't tell you, Gabby. I can't tell you. You gotta go back. I can't tell you. I would be canceled, deleted. You'd never see me again. I can't tell you. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. I didn't know what to say. I I still can't. I don't know what to say. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I mean, they've been bad, but wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's try to go on. Let's behave, shall we? Closed captionings. I'd prefer not to have my channel taken down because of you.
I don't believe that bullet was ever recovered. Do you recall that?
I don't recall it, but it was compared to other samples found at the scene, and that's how they determined it was fired from the same gun.
Okay. So overall, we understand that all the bullets that Jerry Ortiz fired, 10 plus bullets, were going, the jury's seen me do this, but not you. If we have the green Suburban, we have the convenience store. Okay. We got a dumpster over here and Enrique Bocanegra's home.
Okay, got it right this
Jerry
time.
Ortiz was firing in this direction, correct?
Yes,
And there's no reason to think any bullets that were fired from the occupants of this vehicle, one or more, were fired in this direction at all.
I don't know,
In fact, we think all the bullets are going in this direction,
towards the convenience store.
towards the convenience store, yes. Just common sense, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Um,
Just call him Enrique, please, sir.
let's talk about Juan and Jeremy. Both of them were juveniles. They were placed in juvenile. Do you know the resolution of their cases?
I'm sure not that.
Okay. And they were charged with capital murder as well?
Correct.
Okay. Joshua, do you know he was 17 at the time, I think, charged as an adult. Do you know the resolution of his case?
I do not.
20 years.
Now, let's talk about Oscar Martinez's interview with him. He was there at SAPD, obviously not free to leave. He was under arrest.
Yes,
You read him his Miranda, which is proper. Before Oscar Martinez, you had interviewed, I would imagine, hundreds of suspects in interviews just like that, correct?
yes,
Okay. Fair to say that people who are being interviewed are sometimes nervous, scared,
yes,
okay? Like you said before with the state, I mean, you typically don't get truthful answers, at least from the beginning, correct? Because people want to stay out of trouble as much as possible or protect others, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with Oscar, overall, when we boil it down to, and we all saw the interview, when it boils down to, we know that Christopher Mejia and his brother Joshua Mejia, the driver, had decided to jack or rob the guy who was going to meet them at the convenience store, correct?
Yes,
Okay. There are many times you talked about with Oscar saying, look, I understand you're not the type of person who would rob. I understand, you aren't involved in it, correct?
yes,
Okay. And for the jury's benefit, sometimes you do a kind of good cop, bad cop type thing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sometimes you want to be very patient with someone. Sometimes you want to get a little bit loud, and that might provide the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But ultimately, when it came down to it, Oscar said on multiple occasions he wasn't a part of it. He was certainly there, correct?
Correct.
He never said he had a weapon, correct?
Correct.
Ultimately, we found 3 firearms in the vehicle. Would that be correct? I'm sorry, that's not correct. Ultimately, 3 firearms were found in the blue recycle bin,
Yes.
okay, that we have tied back to the green Suburban, okay? And then there was 1 air rifle, which is not a firearm, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, you can see it right there. State's exhibit, whatever the state's exhibit number is. You were able to see this.
Yes, sir.
And that's not a firearm, correct?
No,
Okay, not a firearm. And if there was what looks like a firearm and 3 other firearms, that means a 4th or the 5th person in the car did not have a firearm.
Correct.
Sound right? 4 that are or look like a firearm, and then 5 people. So, with the gas pumps, real quick, I counted that green Suburban is probably at the gas pumps for about 1 minute 15 seconds approximately. Not necessarily a long time, but they were just sitting there, correct?
Correct.
And Oscar was, I think, initially said they were going to get gas, or they were going to get gas. Not that anybody got out to get gas, correct?
And the position of the vehicle was far away from the gas pumps. And I maybe I want to recall that the gas tank was on the other opposite side when I looked at the vehicle.
Yeah, I'll agree with you about.
I don't know
It
why.
boils down to it. It seems like we've got evidence that Christopher, who jumped out of the car to go after Jerry Ortiz, and Joshua, the driver, had this plan that they were going to be doing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall, as part of your investigation, and I'm jumping around a little bit, sorry about that, were patrol officers asked to go look in the alleyway for any type of evidence, such as a jacket or for a firearm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know approximately how far they would have gone in the area?
I do not, sir.
Okay. But ultimately, no jacket was recovered, no firearm was recovered.
No.
Okay.
I think that happened later on at night after we left Jerry's house. So there was a lot of time in between that.
Okay. And all these videos that we watch from multiple angles, it seems like we know that Christopher Mejia got out of a car with a firearm. There's audio that we can hear at the beginning of the gunfire, and once the gunfire starts, it doesn't stop. It goes on for a while. I tried to count. It was too hard, but 18 to 20 shots ultimately. The first 2 shots were within split seconds of each other. Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah. Any way to know, as part of your investigation, whether Jerry Ortiz fired the first shot or Christopher Mejia?
No.
There's no way to know. Okay. I don't know if you recall. Let me ask. As Jerry Ortiz walks up to the green Suburban, he essentially, if I'm Jerry Ortiz and this is the window here, he kind of comes up and turns a little bit like this, starts talking. Sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. He's doing that. He never really does make a good turn to say, I'm looking back here towards the back seat. You recall that from the video?
I can't interpret what he saw, sir.
Okay.
Whether he saw it out of the corner of his eye or not, I can't answer for that.
Okay, fair enough. And do you recall from the window here, if the glass was completely rolled down, or was there a good 2 or 3 inches there?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not a car expert, probably a couple of inches left up.
Uh, Ultimately, the jury can look at that video and determine if that's correct. That's where I was going. Okay, so watching the multiple videos that we've seen, we see Christopher get out of the car, have a struggle with Jerry, and then it appears that Jeremy Martinez gets out of the car. Eventually, Juan Mejia gets out of the car. Oscar's, like you stated before, testified to, Oscar is pretty much inside that Suburban for a good, I don't know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever it might be, but for a while. Definitely the last one to get out, okay? We know now that the driver Joshua was shot. Do you have any part of your investigation? Did you determine if Oscar was trying to tend to Joshua because he had been shot?
Nothing points that direction. I couldn't tell you that.
Either way, correct?
Either way.
Okay, fair enough. And there were 4 bullet casings found on the driver's side of the green Suburban, where Joshua Mejia was driving. Okay, is that kind of consistent with somebody discharging a firearm from the driver's side of the vehicle? You might have driver casings on the driver's side.
That's hard to tell, sir, because if you have a right or left ejection port, and then it's a small environment, the spent casings could hit items, a person, bounce back and bounce all over the car. So it's hard to tell.
It's hard to answer that question.
Yes, sir.
I know it is. Those 4 shell casings were found within a approximate, small area of each other. So we'll never know for sure, but they're pretty close together. Let's talk a little bit about also on the videos. Oscar Martinez is dressed in red shirt, red shorts. There's very, very hard to not distinguish him from the other people in the video. Oscar Martinez definitely did not put any guns in a blue recycle bin, correct?
Correct.
Eventually the Suburban moved up a little bit. That person was definitely not Oscar Martinez.
No.
He was out of the vehicle at the time.
Correct.
As part of the investigation overall, we know from body cam videos that Oscar was on the phone most of the time, calling his mother, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he was on the phone. I don't know who he was talking to.
He's talking to somebody.
Right.
Okay. Earlier you stated you walked a warrant on Jerry Ortiz for capital murder. Just so we're clear, can you tell the jury what is walking a warrant?
Typing up a warrant, stating my probable cause and getting it signed by a magistrate.
And you got that done on February 23rd, 2022, correct?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, overall, we know that, well, let me back up my statement. Based on your investigation, was there any evidence to show that, was there any video evidence to show that Oscar Martinez had a firearm at the scene there on February 21st, 2022?
Did you just say video evidence or evidence in general?
Video evidence.
Video evidence, no video evidence.
Okay. GSR was done. We've heard those results. I think all the parties had GSR.
Yes, sir.
Not unusual, given that 20 shots are being fired.
Yes.
Okay. The 3 guns that were in the blue recycle bin were dusted for prints. No prints are found, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That fake firearm, let me say the number. State's exhibit number 39A. This was never printed, correct?
I'm not aware of it. That would be a CSI job.
Okay.
So
And CSI testified earlier in front of the jury and said this was never even attempted to be printed.
there you
Okay. Do you recall where this was found?
No,
Okay, we've heard information this was found in the back of the Suburban. Okay, any reason to disagree with that?
if that's where CSI found it, then no disagreement on this.
Okay. Now, going back to Oscar Martinez in his interview, correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't admit to being part of the plan, but he heard the scheme or he heard that the agreement by Christopher and Joshua, correct?
Right.
Okay. And does being part or just being there constitute a criminal offense of murder?
No.
Okay, you need something more than that, correct?
Probable cause, yes, sir.
Okay.
Seem a little nervous, sir.
And again, you stated on several occasions in that interview with Oscar, I know you didn't rob anyone. When you say that statement, I know you didn't rob anyone. At that point, did you have any evidence that Oscar had robbed anybody per se?
No.
Okay. And you stated there were some mistakes on missing out some of the videos, which recently have been discovered.
Yes.
And there was some mistakes on some, I don't know, DNA swabs or something like that?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And you'll agree with me that they're at the scene, very chaotic scene. Have you ever been to chaotic scenes like that before?
Within less than a week, I've made a bigger chaotic scene. That's why this got put on the back burner. Yes, sir.
That's unfortunate. Okay. But this particular scene, we got 30 officers, we got evidence techs, we got ambulance, SAPD, the police chief came out there. Do you recall the police chief coming out?
Yes.
You got TV, you got a crowd of people, at least 60, 70 people out there. Some just curious, some family of Mr. Bocanegra's the seat in. Very chaotic scene, correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And as part of your job, obviously, as the police, you're there to try to figure out what happened and who's criminally responsible, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in this particular case, we know that Jeremy Martinez, juvenile, age 13, his juvenile case was dismissed.
Yep.
And Joshua, apparently the driver, age 17 at the time, has been sentenced to prison. Okay. Christopher obviously is deceased, and Juan, well, there's no evidence either way what happened to Juan's juvenile case.
I'd say it's gone. It walked away
So
with
you're,
all its warrant.
based on your understanding of the law, mere presence alone is not enough to be charged with a felony murder type of charge, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
State.
Nothing from the state.
Wow. Then I'm going to try to rehab him. A felony charge. He agrees. He shouldn't have been charged. I mean, I'm not saying he agrees. He agreed with what he said. I don't know. If they all came to do a bad thing or an illegal thing and it went south, why does one get to walk away from everything? And one that says, I wasn't part of the plan. I wasn't part of that. I never fired anything. I never even had that in my hands. They can't put it there. Why is he charged with 2 counts of unaliving? I don't understand this. I know I've repeated myself 1,000 times because it's frustrating. He's it. He's the last witness for the state. And
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes, excuse from the state.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, my excuse for the rest of it.
Yes, you're done. for today?
I have to go to work.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Go get somebody else.
All right, state, call your next witness.
Same restaurant.
All right. All right, ladies.
All right. Judge Boyd. I apologize for the closed captionings on this one, especially. Yeah, uh, if I'm going back to the jury room right now, he's walking out of here because if what he did by just being there is enough for this, it's enough for all of them, juvenile or not. And okay, fine, we take the juveniles out because they were stupid. They were more stupid. Jerry Ortiz is right there age-wise with him. Then if you're going after Oscar, then Jerry is just as bad. He was there to do there's not, they were going to buy, he was going to sell. Just because it went south, sorry, hands are dirty. Both of you, all of you. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. Sarah Boone. She's not Sharon, the only lawyer she can fire now is herself. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I wouldn't say that about a lot of people because I want everybody to have a fair trial and I want her to have a fair trial. She has made it impossible. She has made it so nobody can defend her because all she does is complain about how unfair this is and that is and whatever. Excuse me, but what did your boyfriend or husband or whoever he was think when you put him in the suitcase and left him there? Did he think that was a little unfair? So yeah, she gets zero sympathy from me. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. And you know what won't surprise me one single bit? But they'd have to offer it. Is if they offer her a plea and she takes it after all this time. It would just be like this gotcha cherry on top of the sundae we've been building, and she's just gonna eat it all with a spoon, be like, "Yep, you guys aren't seeing nothing." That woman is crazy. But she's smart. You get her, Jesse Kraszewski, and old Taylor Shabusiness together in a room and watch out. You have the unaliving squad right there. Yes. Ah, I can't. I'm sorry. I've not recovered from that post captioning event. I've been like, please don't say that guy's last name. Please don't say that guy's last name this whole time in my head. So she's gonna send the jurors out. They're gonna take a break. I don't know what they do. But when they come back, the defense rests, just like Jody. So there's no more witnesses at all. And I'm going to we'll do the closing, do the closings and the verdict on Wednesday, just so I have a clean spot to end this, and that can be on its own thing because I know people like that. And the closings take a little bit of time. I don't think the defense I don't think they did a bad job at all. I mean, I don't know where you guys all stand. I know some of you haven't seen all of it. I couldn't convict him on this. I could not convict him of 2 counts. Because the neighbor, the guy, the most innocent person of all, the guy in his house fixing lunch, he had nothing to do with that, in my opinion. maybe that Josh dude is in the right spot. Maybe so he's doing 20 years and maybe that's good for him. I don't know. I don't know. But I can't watch any more of this trial today. I'm scared to watch the closings because I'm scared he's going to say that guy's last name again repeatedly and it's going to be got badly on the closed captionings. Ugh. Yes, we shall see. You didn't tell me if you wanted the stop sticks. You just told me what kind of ice cream you wanted. I mean, I don't know any other way to stop him. Throw your Crocs at him? I might stop the ice cream guy. I don't know. I don't know. Alrighty. Well, yes, all of you that are watching with Jody, thank you so much for watching. I again apologize. Oh, I have a funny story about closed captionings, not my own. I was watching On Patrol with, Law and Crime's Dan Abrams, and there was a guy on there, and you could not understand what this guy was saying. So he turned on the closed captionings. They were just as bad as what these closed captionings were and always are. And I thought, see, Dan, you're making your own point. Fix them. I know they can't, but so, all right. Well, I'm going to keep watching Jody. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around. I'm going to go see her tonight, but I'm going to hang out and whatever you're doing, I will watch you for a little bit. I mean, this verdict, come on. I figured they were going to come back quick and say, we're done. We can't get to it. We can't get there. So this is making me think they're going to get there. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to shut this down and then I have Jody's going on my other screen. I'm watching you. I'm watching me. It's weird. So I'm going to shut mine down and then I will be in Jody's chat. So I'll see you all in just a minute. And for the rest of you, I'll see you guys all back here. I am watching. I am. It's so weird. I see. It's weird. I will see everyone back at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday. And oh gosh, I'm sorry. I just read. See, now I've got chats going. I read Bob Smith's chat over on Jody's, and it's hilarious. And that would be hilarious if Sarah Boone hired Daryl Brooks to be her attorney. Oh, I'd pay money. I'd pay money. As long as he just could not continue to talk. So anyway, I will be back 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. We will do closings and watch the verdict in this. Maybe we'll have a verdict for Karen by then. I don't know. It's hard to tell which one's going to come in faster. Well, this one's coming Wednesday. I can tell you that for a fact. I cannot tell you about Karen. Pulling for her. I hope it's not guilty. So, all right. I will see you guys all over at Jody's in a minute. And for the rest of you that aren't going to Jody's, you should. The Defense Rest with a C. She's awesome. See you guys all in a bit. Bye.